What's happening, everybody? What is going on? It's your boy Sega Man back on deck, checking in. I know it's been a long while, but I am here. Man, how's everybody doing out there, man? I'm gonna tell you what, that Starfield is like living my best life. I've been so addicted to Starfield. I haven't done a podcast in a while with my brothers. I haven't done a check-in. But I'm here now. I'm here right now doing a check-in, man. How is everybody doing? We got a few things I want to talk about with the chat. Maybe my brothers will come on through, you know, and might want to just chop up a little bit of game with me because I'm not going to be here, too long. I'm not going to be here too long, man. But I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's playing the games that they like. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff been going on. Man. How's everybody doing, man? I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad to be back. But Starfield, hey man, you know what? My brother Unlimited is here. He's probably working, but I seen that. Brother Unlimited, I seen that, man. I believe this is the beginning, Brother Unlimited, of the downfall of Sony. You know what I mean? He even admit that he said Phil was right from the beginning. You know what I mean? This is the thing. They were always in the now, Unlimited. And if you want to join for a few minutes, Unlimited, just let me know. If not, you want to just rock out with me in the chat. That's cool too. I'm sorry, brother. I could not be there yesterday. I was mad. I was at work and I was so mad. I mean, I was in the chat for a minute, but I had to get back to work. But I wanted to be there to chop up some game with you and the crew, man. But Jim Ryan, is stepping down. You know, I seen you had that as your focus yesterday on the Unlimited Truth podcast, man. Oh, okay. When you can join, you said I can join shortly. When you can, bro, just let me know and I'll send you a link. Because I'm not going to be here long, Unlimited. I do have to go to work today, but I needed to check in with everybody. You know, I mean, this is some really surprising stuff, man. That's going on in the gaming community, Unlimited. You know, it just was a matter of time. You know, and there's actually a lot of real Sony dudes out there that are really coming out and speaking out on Sony's business practices when it comes to the PlayStation, man. They're not liking a lot of things. I'm reading, Unlimited, that they hate that new PlayStation Portable. It got so many thumbs down. It was unbelievable. They don't even want that. They don't even want that, Unlimited. Now the only thing they can focus on now, Unlimited, is games like Fortnite. You know, microtransaction games. I mean, what do they really have over there? And then you got the pony junkies out there that are very in denial. You know, they're overdosing as we speak. You know, you have guys like Dreamcast guy apologizing and Starfield it's not what I thought, and just these stupid guys that we always been talking about, Unlimited, right? Me, you, Ebot, other Zinc, Dea, the First Lady of Chat, E-Rock, Tuck, all of us. We've been talking about this for a long time. Hondo, 100, keeping it a buck. We've been talking about this forever, man, and they just kept wanting to come back, Unlimited, and be in denial, man. And he's actually saying, I heard Jim Ryan says, Phil was right. He's always been right. Since the beginning, when Phil, remember, Unlimited, and I'm going to keep preaching this, when Phil did that interview, and he said that we will never be beaten in the power narrative again, that's when I knew that Microsoft was going to take off and just start destroying, man, out here. When he said that, I knew Xbox was definitely on their way to being number one. In my opinion, they were always number one. They were always number one, in my opinion. The 2013 thing was a little bit of a mistake, but they very well paid for that mistake. Very well. When we started playing the Xbox One, graduating from the 360 Unlimited, we had the better lineup of games. We did. It wasn't about TV. I know that's what they tried to capitalize on, Unlimited, but we had the better lineup of games. Sony didn't have nothing then, and they don't have nothing now. In reality, they know it's true. They didn't have nothing then that was innovative, and they don't have nothing now that's innovative. What made their money and kept them alive was Call of Duty, a third-party company, not even in-house. God of War couldn't do it. The Last of Us couldn't do it. Now people are getting tired. Spider-Man couldn't do it. I heard there's very bad reviews on that and stuff about Spider-Man. This is what I'm hearing. Okay. Microsoft, Xbox is a company that you don't want to play around with. If it wasn't for the pony junkies, to be honest with you, we might not have what we have today with Game Pass. We might not. I don't know. We might not. With them touting to the rooftops that Microsoft got no games, the 720p box, the weakest console. Oh, they need to buy more game studios. They need to have more exclusives. All this stuff that they were saying was not doing anything but feeding Microsoft better ways to improve on what they already had that was good and make better for their consumers, which is me and you, Unlimited, and the rest of the true Xbox diehard fans out here. We got to thank the pony junkies for what we have today. I really believe that in somehow, some way, Unlimited, we got to thank them. We got to thank them. Brother Hebot would preach all the time back in the day about Sony's business practices and what they've done to the gaming community, right? And he wasn't doing it to be a troll. He was doing it to keep you informed about Sony's bad business practices when it comes to the consumers of gaming, because Hebot owns a PS4 and a PS5, and he owns a lot of games for those systems. Even though Xbox is his preferred console, Peltrex, even Xbox is his preferred console, he plays those games that are on PlayStation. From the exclusive to the other games that they have on there. And he knows how they work. And he knows their business practices. So does Unlimited and a bunch of us, E-Rock, all of us. We know what they're doing is wrong. Now look what's happening. The fall of crying Jim lying Ryan is going away. I believe this is going to be the one of the downfalls of the PlayStation. Yes, and I love Sega. I do. That's why my name is Sega, man. I own all the Sega consoles, a lot of their games, because that's my beloved system that I grew up with, and my favorite system of all time will always be the Sega Genesis, because that's what I mostly grew up on during my childhood. Had a lot of experiences with the Sega Genesis. And I got to say it, I think the Sony PlayStation is going to fall. It's going to fall. I really believe that. A lot of people think that their games are just going to become like Sega on other systems. That could possibly be true. I think Microsoft might buy PlayStation. I'm speaking futuristically, okay? I don't think Sony can last. They just don't have the pockets. Let's just be real, okay? There's no trolling here with me. Let's just be real. Microsoft's pockets are so deep. Sony wouldn't be able to crawl out of them. Put it that way. They can't compare to Microsoft. It's the truth. It's not about being a troll, okay? It's not about being a fanboy. What's up, Anthony Chipmunk? What's up, Tone? Tony Chipmunk? What's up, brother? Same name as your boy Sega Man. My real name. Thank you for coming, guys. Peltrex Unlimited. But let's just speak truth to power. Sony has been this way for a long time, like Hebot said, since the first PlayStation. They've always been this way. I will give them credit, guys, for one thing. The best PlayStation that they ever came out with, and you guys know this, and I always say this, it is the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 was the best PlayStation that they ever created and brought out. It was. It did do leaps and bounds. It did sell and destroy consoles and sales. Okay, I have to put truth to power. It did. I own a PlayStation 2. I own a PlayStation 1. I own these old consoles. But the PlayStation of today is terrible. It's very... What's up, Mr. Kima? Thank you for coming, man. I'm checking in, guys. I know it's been a while, but I'm here right now. You know what I mean? I'm going to be on here for a little bit. I know it's early, but I have to do it early because your boy Sega Man, I gotta go to work later. But I am here now. And damn, my mouse ain't working. Shit. And let me turn this bad boy off and back on. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Damn, now it doesn't want to come on. Well, anyways, probably need new batteries. But anyways, it's their downfall, guys. It's time. They're gonna fall. We all knew this. Anthony Chipmunk, Mr. Kima, he be spitting facts too about PlayStation. Rather be on, on Twitter, in the chat, Peltrex, everybody. This is really our time to celebrate, man. We didn't do nothing wrong. The thing is that, some Xbox dudes might feel like, oh, well, gee, that's kind of bad for Sony. Well, boo, goddamn who, okay? Because it's their own fault what's happening to them. It's their own fault what is happening to them, guys. Jim Ryan, he can't hold a candle to Phil Spencer. They have no innovation. Remember back in the days, who wants to play old games, right? Nobody wants to do that. I think people want to buy old games that they already have. That's what he's thinking in his mind. Let's bring back these old games, right? But we'll make you pay for them over again, right? When you have an arsenal of old school games in your PlayStation archives, the true PlayStation guys, and your company refuses to do true backwards compatibility like Microsoft's Xbox, the best value for your buck right now, and it is showing out here today. Starfield is game of the year. I said this in the beginning, that I believe Starfield is game of the year. I don't care about the buy stations. I know what he's like, and I know what he's going to do. He's going to come up with some kind of way not to make it game of the year, because these guys will never... You got these guys out here right now, Anthony Chipmunk, everybody in the what's up, Lewis Frag, in the chat. Shouts out to you, my good brother. You got these guys out here that were talking so much crap on Starfield that they're apologizing. Like Lycast guy. He's out here apologizing now. I'm very appalled by that dude, because he wears one of the best consoles, on his head. The Dreamcast, little, his little Dreamcast hat he got from the Goodwill. He wears that on his head, and he ain't even a true Dreamcast player or fan. I never ever hear him talk about Dreamcast games or anything like that, but he calls himself the Dreamcast guy, right, guys? But he's the Dreamcast lie, because all he ever did was lie, on his channel. But now he's apologizing, and saying stuff is good about Starfield when nobody is listening to them dudes. The true Xbox fans and all that are not listening to them dudes. Okay? You got a lot of them out here that are apologizing right now. And I don't care. They can apologize all they want. Stay over there. Stay over there. Okay? Don't come over here. All right? Just stay over there. All right? Starfield is destroying everything right now. I got to get a battery for it. It's destroying everything right now. All right? It's the best game out there right now, and that's all people are talking about is Starfield. Sorry about that, guys. But that's all I hear them talking about. I don't hear them talking about nothing else. You hear a little bit about Spider-Man, but I mean, you're not really hearing that much. What's up, Rain? Rain in the house? You don't really hear that much. And now Jim Ryan's leaving. Now, what are they doing? What are they damage? Are they damage controlling that too about Jim Ryan? There it goes, guys. I got my let me show everybody. Got my mouse going. You know, what's up, Peltrex? Tony Chipmunk, Anthony Chipmunk, aka Mr. Kima in the building. Anthony Chipmunk giving shots out to me. Louis Frag saying, "What's up, peeps? It's good to see y'all, man. What a week. Sony going down like the Titanic, and it's the truth. It is the truth, man. This is what they don't understand. They always want to say that we're corporate slaves, right, guys? You know, we're corporate slaves, and Microsoft is bad for the industry. Microsoft is good for the industry. They saved a lot of jobs. You hear me? They saved a lot of jobs by buying these companies that were going down or going under. You know what I mean? Like the ones that did Hellblade. They saved those guys. Those guys still got jobs. You know, I don't know if these Sony, these pony junkies out here don't understand. I'm gonna send my brother Unlimited a link that they saved their jobs. You know, so let me send my brother Unlimited a link here real quick, guys. Give me 1 minute. I want to talk to Unlimited for a minute. I know he's working, but I want to have him come in here because he had a fire podcast yesterday. I did not get to see the podcast. I was at work. Man, I was just, oh man. I wanted to go and be in there so bad, but I was working. But I'm sending him a link now to come and join me real quick and chop up some game. But we're not doing nothing but telling the truth here. How long have we been putting up with this crap, guys? For a long time. And now that Jim Ryan is stepping down, what are they going to say now? Are they still saying that it's our fault that they're stepping down? I mean, what is it? Damn, Lewis, level 50 on Starfield, dude. I think I'm like a 14 or 15. I'm so addicted. I'm so addicted to that game, guys. I haven't even played my all-time favorite game. Still is Gears. I've just been so. If I'm not with my family and I have downtime, I've been on Starfield. Now that I got the gist of it. It's really hard. I'm a Starfield fiend. You know, I say the pony junkies. I'm a Starfield junkie. I'm literally. Oh, what is this? What we got? Let me see. I'm literally a junkie. You know, I'm a Starfield junkie, man. I need help. I need rehabilitation. You guys know anywhere I can go? Is there any places I can go for that? I need rehabilitation, man. I need some help. I need some help, guys. Is there a place I can go? Make sure they have some donuts and coffee, though. I'm gonna need some donuts and coffee, man, while I'm at my Starfield rehabilitation, man. I don't know, man. I can't get off Starfield right now, man. It's so hard to get off of that game. You know, Jim Ryan said he wants to join a Xbox podcaster. Hey, Rain, what else is he gonna do, man? What else is he gonna do? Look, I got Tuck calling me, and I know what he's calling me for, right? And I know you hear me, Tuck, on the show. If you want me to send you a link, just let me know. All right, because I don't see you on here. If you want me to send you a link and you want to come and chop up some game with me for a little bit, Tuck, I can't be on, bro, for 4 hours because your boy got to go to work. I'm chopping up game with the Outlaw chat, the Xbox Outlaw chat, man, and then I got to go. My brother Unlimited will be on. Our brother Unlimited will be on here in a minute, you know, and we're gonna chop up some game, man, for a little bit here, you know. I haven't been able to do a podcast on the week. I've been busy. I actually been busy, man, on the weekend. But I got Brother Unlimited coming in right now. I'm gonna send Tuck one too because I think that's what he's calling me for. What's up, Unlimited?
What's up, Sega man?
Brother Unlimited had a fire fucking podcast yesterday, and I had to miss it because I was at work. Over 443 views. Goddamn. That's real good. That's real good.
On my video?
Yeah, I seen it. I think it said 400 views, bro.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
I'm
Thank you
sure
for everybody that watched.
Oh,
wow, it's at over 500 views at the moment.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, man. Dude, that was fire.
Yeah, that news was massive yesterday, man. That news was massive.
Brother, I always go to you and I always go to Hebot when I want to find out the new because I'm not in the loop because I work, I do all kind of stuff, and I'm not in the new. So when I go and I want to know something, I ask Unlimited and I ask Hebot because they're always on point when it comes to this, man. Jim Ryan, bro, is stepping down. Unlimited. What does this mean for PlayStation, man?
Oh man, listen, it's one foot closer to the grave. That's what it means. Yeah. Because look, man, let's break it down a bit if you don't mind, Sega man.
Yeah, let's go.
Jim Ryan was flying around the world trying to stop an Activision deal his company had nothing to do with. Jim Ryan lied to people, to this audience, saying they believe in generations only to put their games on PlayStation 4 anyway. Jim Ryan also said something crazy that the Bungie deal would be more valuable than the Activision deal. Jim Ryan was a man who how can I put this? He got lucky with this. I'm starting to believe he got lucky with whatever success he had at Sony. Because this guy just talks out of his ass, and now he's leaving Xbox. Not Xbox. Now he's leaving Sony with PlayStation copying the Xbox playbook that they're going to fail at. By the way, all while pretending that they were the number one entity in gaming. If they're number one, why are they copying Xbox so hard?
Exactly.
Why can't they survive? Why is he telling regulators and governments that PlayStation can't survive without Call of Duty? You know, so excuse me. So pretty much, Sega man, all that's happening is another head of Sony is gone. Womp womp. He's gone the way of Sean Layden and Ken Kutaragi and all of them. Another guy that's going to take over, Hiroki to Cody or something like that. And the guy who's taking over and guess what? The guy who's taking over of Jim Ryan, he believes in mobile gaming more than console gaming. So the future of PlayStation, so the future of PlayStation is going to be even more ridiculous, right? When he starts to implement his vision and he starts to get the way to get rid of the stink of what Jim Ryan left behind. So yes, Sony is just on a fast track to nowhere. This is a company that's never had an original thought in his brain. They got into gaming thanks to the R&D for the PlayStation that Nintendo brought, right? This is a company that, if you look at their history, time after time after time, copied off of Nintendo and Microsoft every chance they got. Whether it's copying trophies, copying from achievements, PlayStation Move copying from the Wii, PlayStation All-Stars copying from Super Smash Bros. We could go down the list of history of them not having an original brain in their thoughts, right? I mean, original thoughts in their brains, right?
Right.
But the point is, Sega man, at the end of the day, who's still the head of their company? Oh, that's right. Phil Spencer's still the head of Xbox. Phil Spencer's the one who's making purchases for Bethesda, Activision, and whatever else they purchase in the future. Jim Ryan is not. He had to settle for Bungie. And Bungie, by the way, is putting their games on Xbox anyway. So is
That's
that really
right.
is that
That's
really
right.
a win?
It's not a win, Unlimited, and he can't. And we're gonna let Brother Tuck talk too. He can't just bank on Bungie to do everything. On that side over there on the PlayStation, you can't just bank on Bungie and the people that made that made is it Insomniac that made God of War?
Oh no, that was Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. I mean, who made God of War again? It's
No. Insomniac made Spider-Man. Sony Santa Monica made God of War.
Sony said, okay, you can't depend on just those couple companies to do all that. You even have people from them companies that are praising Starfield, right? Starfield is this big entity, bro, that just cannot be put down or destroyed. It's just it's the end thing right now. This is definitely game of the effing year, bro. It is. This is game of the year. They can say anything they want, Unlimited and Tuck. Starfield is game of the year. I am actually a Starfield junkie, bro. I cannot get off of Starfield. It's stopping me from making my podcast. I can't get off it. I'm enjoying it so much, Unlimited. I'm exploring everything. I know how to do everything now. I'm taking my time because I'm one of those guys that like to explore. I like to go and find all kind of stuff. That game's going to take me forever. I'm going to take a break when Forza comes out because I got that pre-order from my, where you could play. I think it's 5 days before it come out or something. I use some points and everything. I'm going to take a break, but Starfield is my go game right now. You know what I mean? I can't get off of that game, and I see all kind of stuff all over the headlines, Unlimited and Tuck. As soon as I put on the gaming news on the laptop, Starfield, everything, Starfield. That's all I see. This is a huge hit, and it's exclusively on the Xbox, and that's another thing that they can't stand, right? Unlimited, you got people like Lycast guy coming out and apologizing. All these mamby-pambies out here that were talking all this stuff about Starfield, right? Unlimited and Tuck. Oh, it's bad. Oh, this. You can't go on this planet. You fall off the board. All this stuff. Now they're all coming back apologizing or trying to apologize, and we know that we know their game and what they're doing and why they do it, right? Unlimited, and it just cannot be beaten right now, man. And we've been saying this, doing these podcasts forever, that Sony, their downfall it's coming, man. I hate to say this, but I'm not trying to be mean, but they're gonna go the way of my brand that I love, which is Sega. They might end up, like you said, the guy's a mobile guy. They might end up putting their other IPs and stuff on other systems, preferably Xbox. I can see Xbox, and I know they're gonna hate this. I can see Xbox buying PlayStation. I'm serious. I can see them buying PlayStation, or at least buying a lot of their IP. Because they just can't hang with the big boys, Unlimited.
Well, Phil did say that buying Nintendo would be a career move. So, hey, what do we know with how he feels about buying Sony or PlayStation?
Yeah.
Or purchasing PlayStation away from Sony, however it goes.
Right. And Brother Tuck, thank you for joining me, man. I can't be here that long, Brother Tuck. I'm glad you came, man, because I do have to go to work later on this evening. But I'm glad that you, Unlimited, are here chopping up the game. What do you think, Tuck, about this, man? When I seen the podcast yesterday with my brother Unlimited, it was so on fire, bro. When I seen that Jim Ryan is stepping down, I did not even know. My fucking eyes fell out of my head. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? And so what do you think, Tuck, about this, man? What does this mean for Sony, bro? What does this mean for Sony, man?
Well, for no one, like I told everybody on the podcast last night, on Unlimited's podcast last night, Sony better worry about more than just Jim Ryan leaving, because don't forget, like I said, they got Spider-Man coming out 2 months.
Yeah,
and they got this damn
No, Tuck. It's less than a month. It's about 3 weeks away.
Yeah, that's right. It's not coming out in November. It's coming out in October.
Yeah.
And then they got to deal with this damn hack coming on. This hack right now, you better hope. These PlayStation fans better hope. And I swear to this, they better hope that Sony gets this under control. Because if they don't, and people start getting their accounts hacked and all that stuff, Spider-Man, I don't give a kid unless they just that doggone desperate to have Spider-Man. if they get their accounts hacked, these people get their accounts hacked and all that stuff, ain't no way in the world that's not gonna hurt Sony.
Hello?
That's gonna be big time.
What's up?
So they better. So like I said, they better hope. They better hope and pray.
I got you.
Because
I got you a free
with this Jim Ryan, with what this Jim Ryan thing is doing.
You have to come tomorrow or today to get scanned because it expires on the 30th.
On the 30th?
Yeah, which is what, Saturday?
Yeah, that is Saturday.
Okay. Is there a way that you can come tomorrow to get scanned or today?
Let me try to make it tomorrow. I'll see if I could get there tomorrow.
Okay.
Does it matter what time?
Yeah, you have to come before 1 because I think they're only here until 1 tomorrow.
1. All right. Let me see what I could do. I'm gonna see what I could do. I'll try to make it there before 1 in the morning, or Sunday morning or something.
Okay. The only thing is, right, they're gonna ask. It's gonna be $6 because they're like you have to pay $6.99, but it could be in payments, right? Don't worry about that right now. Okay. Just come in and get scanned, and then we'll take care of the bill.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, you can get here today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, I'm still with you.
I'm already swamped right now. I
Finish up what you were saying.
I wanted to.
No, so what I'm saying is this:
Saturday, but
this thing with Jim Ryan is major news. So what makes you think that if he don't know anything, he knows a lot more about these hacks and all that stuff than what they telling. And I think he's been knowing about these hacks for a long time. It's just now they just can't hide it no more like they used to. This thing is like going back to 2011 again, like Unlimited said. This thing's going back to 2011, and if that's going on, if people start getting their accounts hacked, dude, Sony's in the world hurt, man. And they got Spider-Man coming out. I don't give a good nobody say. If I get my account hacked, I don't give a damn about no damn Spider-Man. I want you to pay me. I want you to pay me my money back if I get hacked. So that's all I gotta say about that, man. Because this thing with Jim Ryan is a big deal. I mean, you got to deal with the hack. Then you got to deal with Jim Ryan leaving. That's a big deal. So, I mean, more power to Sony. I mean, if they better do something. That's all I got to say.
I don't know, Tuck. I'm starting to think it's too late, Tuck. We've been talking about this forever, and people want to call us idiots, morons, stuff like that. Been saying this forever, man. I don't think they can, Tuck. I really don't, Tuck. I think they're done, bro. I don't think they can, man. I mean, they could try, Tuck, but right now, I mean, they can't do anything, man. They could try, but I mean, I said,
you can't either, man.
Like I said before, in Unlimited Notice, what's up, Andy? Andy in the building. We've been saying this forever since we started these podcasts that PlayStation cannot whatsoever hang with Microsoft. They can't. Microsoft is a behemoth of a company. They have way more money than Sony could ever have in their lifetime. They can't hang with Microsoft, dude. They can't. Why do you think Microsoft, when people hate, and I think Unlimited can understand, when people hate that Phil plays so nice and gives praise with Sony and thanks him all that, these guys are humble because they know Sony can't do nothing to them.
Yeah. Listen, would you talk shit if you beat a kid in Madden? No, because he's a little kid.
Absolutely
and that's what Phil and them are dealing with. They're dealing with what is essentially a little kid to them. Because Sony, nothing in Sony comes close to Xbox and Microsoft. No. And they know that. They know that if they want it, listen, if push came to shove, there's a future where they could purchase them, right?
Yeah.
So they don't look. Listen, Phil probably looks at PlayStation the way he does Nintendo, where he literally said in a leaked email, buying Nintendo would be a career move. Maybe there's something where he's like, hey, buying PlayStation would be a big victory or something in his mind. He don't see them as competition.
He never did.
Yeah, because their Xbox are the big boys.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what did he say? What did he say, fellas? What did he say, fellas, a couple years ago? He said that Google and Apple were their competitors. It was never about Sony being a competitor because they're not. Google was it Google, Amazon, and Apple. You know the big hit honchos, those guys. It was never about Sony. Sony is not competition for Microsoft. They're not. They never were. You know what I mean? And we've tried to say this forever and ever, and people would try to, damage control that and damage control what Phil says, and and stuff like that. That's why he's so nice. And people say, well, Phil's just so nice. He's too nice. That's the main reason why he is, because he knows that Sony cannot do nothing to them. They can't. They really can't. I mean, they're right now, they're on a they're sinking very quickly. You know what I mean? That life raft is going to implode here soon. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's the truth. It's just the truth. It's not us damage controlling or making it fun of people who like Sony PlayStation. I'm being true to facts. It's just that's what's going to happen. They're going to go the way of Sega. That's what's going to happen, and their games are going to end up either on, like Unlimited said, the guy like mobile. There's going to be a lot of on PC, mobile, and Xbox. I believe that, and maybe Nintendo. I think Nintendo's okay, but I mean, if they want to buy Nintendo, and Nintendo agrees to some sort about that, it's bye. It really is. It's bye, man. And like I said in the beginning, Unlimited, all these people out here talking so bad about Microsoft having a game console and saying all kind of derogatory stuff about the system and everything and stuff like that, did not do nothing but make them a little bit more aggressive. It's like you said, Unlimited, if Microsoft wanted to be really aggressive, Sony would have already been out of business right now. They would have already been out of business right now. If they wanted to be really aggressive, right, Unlimited, if you wanted to be, let's say Phil Spencer wanted to be a Jim Ryan, right, and think like that and have the money behind him, right, Unlimited, they would have been out of business. I'm telling you that right now. They would have been out of business. Well, that's what I believe.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Sega man. Let's not forget what the president of Xbox said. He said straight up. He said, "Y'all want competition? Bring it. Bring the competition."
Gotcha. Yeah.
So the only thing they did was open up a sleeping giant. They put him in a spot where they didn't really want to go, but they had to. This thing with Starfield, they tried it with Starfield, and me and you, all of us already talked about it. That first conference that Sony came out with, their first State of Play came out with,
when
Microsoft came out that same doggone day and said all them games is coming to Xbox. That's when we knew right then and there the dog had been woken up.
Yeah.
So this thing right here could have been done, like y'all said, could have been done a lot earlier. But they're trying to be a nice guy about it and try to let everybody enjoy gaming. I mean, I'm gonna put it like this, y'all. Okay, what had they tried to do with Nintendo and Sony? They had one on there try to share games with them. But no, they don't want to share not one doggone game with them. So now what they're doing, they're getting their butts kicked right now. Nintendo, this thing's not over with Nintendo at all. I mean, wait, they next because they doing the same doggone practices that Sony doing. They come out with their games, and Unlimited, and you mentioned it yourself. How many times are you gonna be able to turn around and survive off your exclusives only? Because you ain't gonna be able to survive off them that doggone long, because you're only gonna come out with so many exclusives, and that's what I'm talking about with Nintendo.
Yeah, and not only that, Tuck, and I'm glad you brought that up. Let me add to that. Sony can't keep. Sony's going to release even less exclusive, confirmed by Jim Ryan at the beginning of just this generation. And they can't keep putting out these $200 million games for $70, and it's not making enough profit back. Matter of fact, according to one thing Zink sent me yesterday, Horizon Forbidden Entertainment did not make any profit. It wasn't profitable at all. So, what is Sony doing here? They have a losing formula right now.
Well, you know what, like you said, but like y'all said too. Okay, where is these 44 semi-million ass consoles that's what they think they're initially supposed to have out there. We always said they're not out there like that. People not spending money like that no more because you can't. I mean, man, dude, groceries are still high. Gas has gone up. Everything else has gone up in the world. So that's gonna be on the person's last mind is to spend $400 some dollars or $500 some dollars on a doggone system.
Yeah.
And see, that's the whole reason of the point of EA Access. Because you don't have to spend all that money at one damn time. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is make sure your credit is good. Go to Best Buy. They even doing it at Targets now. They even got their knuckle program at Targets now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, because it's like I was on Target the other day and I said like Xbox All Access at Targets. I'm like, so Microsoft is dominating this doggone thing. I mean, everybody can talk about the 44 million, but we all know that 44 million is a lie because they had over 44 million. Why are they consoles? Why are their games not selling? Why are their games not selling? And like I told you, like I always try to tell these crazy ponies, you got 44 million systems out there, but you're only buying like, okay, like you said, Final Fantasy, 3 million consoles. Units sold of the game, but you got 44 million people out there that got the PlayStation. So I'm saying that's a big lie. Everybody already talked about it's a big lie. So, from here on out, all I gotta say is this: what other lie can Sony tell? What other lie can Sony? They can't lie on that no more. Mm-hmm. That's a big lie. I mean, they ain't making no profits on none of their video games because, like Jim Ryan said, it's nice that you're gonna have the consoles out there, that you're gonna sell the consoles out there, but if you're not playing your games, it don't mean nothing. And like we always have said in this podcast, if you ain't selling no doggone games, you ain't doing nothing. So that's the whole purpose of the Game Pass. And that's what makes the Game Pass so doggone dangerous to Sony's brand. And I am loving it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Unlimited. Did you see what Andy wrote here?
100 million consoles for PlayStation equal recognition. No profit. Sony was slowly killing themselves since then, especially when your games are one and done. Yeah, that's a great point from Andy. That's a great point.
Great point, man. It's true.
Yeah.
I gotta give him a clap for that. That is good stuff.
It's true.
Right, man.
It's definitely true.
That's definitely true.
And this another thing that's really some people laugh at it, but the hacking thing, man. What did the guy say? You either give us some money or we're going to put all your business out there. Is that what happened? The people that are hacking the PlayStation. I think they wanted some kind of ransom or something like that, or they're going to put their customers' information out there, right? Unlimited,
right?
Wow. And they said they had till the 27th. What's today?
Today's the 28th.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, everything just keeps happening. Jim Ryan stepping down, them being hacked for the 20,000th time. I mean, you know what I mean? It's to the point where me and you right now, Unlimited and Tuck, if we want to, we could get Antstream, which I have Antstream. We could play PlayStation 1 games on Xbox Series X. Mm-hmm. We could play right now to PlayStation 1 games on the Xbox Series X. And I tried one of them out. It looks like you're playing a regular PlayStation. It's not any update. But you can play PlayStation games right now, which they say would never happen on an Xbox. It started with the X.
Hey, now you know what, fellas? I just thought about this too. Now, with all this hacking and everything and all that stuff, information's coming out and all that stuff, how many people going to go out there and actually buy a PlayStation right now?
I wouldn't. I just,
ain't no way in the world I can trust.
I'm like Technoblast. I watched Technoblast's podcast the other day with him and Slayer, and he said the only way I think the only way because he has a PlayStation, I think the only way he gets the games and stuff is he buys the cards. He will not put his credit card in there. You know what I mean? I think it's Nintendo and PlayStation. He will not do that. And I would be the same way. I mean, if I had a PlayStation 4, right? I'm not gonna put my credit card information in there. They get hacked too many times. I'd rather go to the store and buy one of them cards than let alone put my card in there. I would never do that with Sony. Never.
Yeah.
Never, dude. Then they want to give you a problem about it too afterwards.
Yeah, then they want to give you attitude.
They want to give you money back.
Money.
They want to give you money. different things like that. But all I know is that I don't know what to tell you guys out there, man. I mean, me Unlimited, a lot of people, been doing this forever, been called names. I mean, and now it's coming to fruition. There's no more damage control, right? Unlimited. What are they going to say now, Unlimited? Now that Jim Ryan is stepping down, I mean, what do they really have to say? Are they saying that it's Xbox's fault that he's stepping down? Because I can see them saying that it's somehow Xbox's or Phil Spencer's fault that he's stepping down. Different things like that.
In a way, they wouldn't be wrong because I mean, let's look what brought upon his downfall. The competition is bought two of the biggest publishers in gaming. Mm-hmm. The competition is more profitable, even with having half the revenue. Yeah. The competition is putting out more content. Has 60 to 70% of the subscription market. Mm-hmm. He has to get PlayStation. He had to try to get PlayStation to compete while also lying and pretending that the PlayStation Plus rework they did a year ago wasn't supposed to compete with Game Pass. Spoiler alert, it is. Right?
Yeah.
And so basically, listen again. Jim Ryan is leaving a sinking ship. He's leaving a sinking ship before it gets so bad. Because whoever's going to be the last person running Sony is going to get the most blame. So whoever's going to be the CEO of Sony when the inevitable end comes is going to be the one that's going to be in the history books known as the guy who killed Sony, and he's not going to be that guy. So he's retiring now. Because I found out yesterday Jim Ryan is younger than Phil Spencer, and I didn't. Yeah. So let's not sit here, huh?
He's younger than who?
Phil Spencer.
He's younger than Phil Spencer.
We don't act like it, man. You're old as shit, man.
Yeah, I know. So we're not talking about a 70-year-old man who's going off to retirement. We're talking about somebody who's younger than Phil Spencer that's leaving a sinking ship. Wow. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Wow. I didn't know I thought he was older than that. I thought he was at least 70.
Yeah.
Hey, and Unlimited and Tuck, I think one of the reasons why he's leaving too, because he knows the truth about where Sony as a company is going. Look, they're putting out these peripherals that are doomed. The VR2 is doomed. That new handheld is doomed from the giddy up. It's doomed. There's a lot of people that don't want that thing, man. It's doomed.
And you just think about the money that they put into those. They losing money. That's the reason why Phil Spencer said, no, he ain't gonna come out with no VR now. They can use the controller. He said, but as far as VR just a niche thing, and that's it. And he said that years ago.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, I just give Phil, because Phil, they was working on that on HoloLens back then.
Yeah.
And HoloLens is really basically the military using that right now.
Right.
I mean,
and he was right about that, Tuck. He was right about that. I agreed with him back then. And then you hear people, the pony junkies. Oh, what's the matter, Phil? You don't have the competition for VR. No, it's not about that. He said VR is not ready yet. And he was right. He was absolutely right. When it comes to console VRs, he was right. It's not ready yet. It's not, because look at what their VR. Where's their VR at right now? Unlimited. Do you hear anybody talking about PlayStation VR 2? I don't hear nobody talking about no VR on PlayStation.
Although Sony claims there are 40 million PlayStation 5s out there, PlayStation VR 2 only sold 600,000 units. They didn't buy it. They're not playing VR. That's why they don't talk about it, because they don't even own the damn thing.
Yeah, they don't. And remember, Unlimited, when we did our podcast, you have to own a PlayStation 5 to play that goddamn thing. So you're spending like what $1,200, maybe more?
Yeah, maybe more just to get that thing to running right. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
That'd
ain't
be
nobody
cool.
gonna do that. I'd rather get an Oculus Rift that's gonna cost a lot less, Tuck, and does way better VR than a PlayStation a VR. It does way better. There's no wires, shit like that, and stuff like that. I'd rather, if I'm gonna get into VR, I'm gonna get an Oculus Rift. That's what I'm gonna get. If I want to get into VR gaming, I'm gonna go out and get a real VR, which is the Oculus Rift, man. I'm not going to go out and buy a PlayStation 5 and then buy a PSVR 2. That's a cash grab, bro, and it doesn't even perform as good as an Oculus. It doesn't. That's what I was told, that it's okay, but it's nothing like having a real VR.
No. I mean, they actually said that it's pretty good, but the thing about it is, you gotta spend so much if you don't have the other system. You gotta spend so doggone much to have it. I mean, they just need to make that alone a steel attachment, but they wasn't gonna do that because they greedy. Mm-hmm. PlayStation is a greedy ass company, and I'm glad to see Microsoft come out and say, well, you know what, forget all about y'all. We're gonna change this crap up. Y'all want the competition to be there? Hey. They even try to make it sound good when the CMA started doing their little dirt and all that stuff, doing this trial and all that stuff. They was going to go there and not even change a thing with PlayStation. Yeah. They was going to let them keep the games and all that stuff, share the games and all that stuff that they was going to get and all that stuff. But no, they did not want that at all. They wanted to be greedy. They wanted Call of Duty all to themselves. And that is it, and I'm glad to see it happen. I am so glad to see Activision say, you know what, we're in the dilemma now. We got to sell it, and we're going to sell it to Microsoft. And Microsoft told them to go to the other bidders and see if they wanted. They didn't want it, so they came back to Microsoft, and Microsoft is giving them the money to buy the company.
That's right.
But Microsoft still trying to. But Sony's still trying to be greedy dogs out of the whole thing. So, man, as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad to see what Microsoft said. You know what? If that's the only game you want, that's the only game that y'all going to get. It's Call of Duty for the next 10 years. And I'm not even sure that company's going to be around for the next 5 years now.
The way it's looking, Tuck, the way it's looking, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't know, man. I mean, the way it's looking, with you got Jim stepping down, and all that shit. I don't know, man. I just what does Sony do now? I mean, like Unlimited said, there's these guys that are coming on board, and like he said, the one guy's a mobile dude. I honestly see a lot of their games and stuff gone mobile. Remember Unlimited when you had these PlayStation dudes out here? I'm telling you what right now. If our games go on PC or mobile, I'm gonna just get a PC. I'm just gonna get a PC. Remember that?
I remember. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Meanwhile, they still talking crap. Big forehead, he's still making videos, but yet I haven't seen him talk about his PC. Has he talked about a PC and getting a PC and being a PC? He's still talking about PlayStation because he lied. He lied. Oh, I'm gonna get a PC, man. I don't believe in that. Xbox is wrong by doing that. So if my company does it, I'm just gonna get a PC and get rid of my PlayStation, bruh. You're still talking about PlayStation. You ain't talking about PC games. You're talking about your PlayStation, bro. So you lied. You know what I mean? You didn't go get a PC. You're still playing on a PS4 or whatever, the 5, whatever you got. You know what I mean? You didn't go anywhere. You're still playing on that PlayStation, bro.
Who you talking about? Puerto Rock?
Yeah, forehead, big head.
And nobody like. I mean, where are those clowns at now? They so silent. You don't even hear a word out of them.
Nope.
I mean, and I'm hoping that MBG, oh man, you surely don't hear a word out of him now. I mean, you might hear a little bit out of him today or something like that, but I'm glad everybody's shutting him up.
You got Dreamcast guy out there fake apologizing and and stuff like that, and these guys are coming out trying to apologize. Now, I don't know if you've seen him Unlimited. I've seen a couple of clips of some of that because Others Inc. sent me a link to the guy, the Xbox Pansy dude. I forgot his name, the one that's always making in front of Sony dudes, and he was showing a clip of him apologizing, and all these guys out here trying to backtrack now, about Starfield and different things like that. Starfield is, man, I'm telling you, bro. It's remember how your boy Sega Man says we're eating good over here, man. We're eating too good over here, bro. I mean, it's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do now, man, except damage control or fake apologize or little things like that. There ain't nothing else they can do now. I'm waiting to see what happens the holiday season, Unlimited and Tuck. We're going to see what's going to happen coming forward towards October, November. When Forza comes out, we got other games that are going to be coming out. You know what I mean? Look at all these games that are in Game Pass right now. There's a lot of sweet games right now that's in Game Pass right now, man. They just keep bringing out all of these games, bro. It's hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep up, man. It's hard to keep up, man.
By the way, Unlimited, your game came out today on Game Pass.
Oh, Gotham Knights?
Yeah.
Yep, and this one, Unlimited, your boy Sega Man downloaded that. I'm gonna be trying that too. I got to get off Starfield. It's hard, man. I need some kind of rehabilitation, bro. It's real hard to get off that game, bro. But I'm gonna be trying that too. I was looking at it like, damn, Unlimited, this is his game, man. I gotta try this game out too, man. I downloaded that too. Anything that comes out, I download it and I try it. If I don't like it, I'll uninstall it. If I don't like it, but I try, I get my money's worth. You know what I mean? We get our money's worth over here. You know what I mean? So that's great that Gotham came to Game Pass. That's cool. That's cool, man.
I mean, because like we always said, the only good thing about the Game Pass you really got to love is that if a big time company has a game, it might not come out in the Game Pass at first, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But when the game get older and it stop making money, Microsoft don't mind paying a little extra money to try to get the game back in and being popular again.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do, you pay them a little bit of money. Hey, people get to try the game on the Game Pass, and if they love it, they love it. If they don't, they don't. But people are gonna love that game. That game right there is a good game. I mean, and how people missed up on it and everything and cracked on it and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it don't deserve that. I mean, Unlimited. I mean, that's your game, and that's your game, and that game is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a bad game at all. But how the media trashed it out and saying 30 frames per second, and I'm like, when's the last time we lost any sleep over 30 frames per second?
When's the last time we played 30 frames per second, bro? We playing the game. We don't care. I mean, I don't care. We don't really care. I mean, yes, if we had that's cool, but I don't care about that. If the game is good, I'll play that 30 frames per second game, man.
Right.
Shoot.
Well, I mean, every PlayStation 4 game was 30 frames per second.
It was greatness, though.
And like I'm always saying, you can't tell the developers what to do. Even if Sony come out with a PS5 Pro, you cannot tell developers what to do. They're either going to do one or two things. Either they're going to do it or they're not going to do it. That's all it is to it. I mean, and that's the reason why what Phil Smith always have said. We making it where it can go up to 60, but it all depends upon the developers to do it.
Yeah.
Now, if they can make a game 60 frames per second without any kind of bugs or any kind of stipulations or any kind of glitches, yeah, they can do it. But if they can't, I'm not gonna worry about that.
Yeah.
Because like we said, at the end of the day, we're looking to play good games.
And I wanted to ask you, Unlimited brother, what do you think about Starfield, man?
Oh, I think the game's brilliant. It's going to be my game of the year.
Yeah.
You know, it's an addictively good game.
Yeah.
Man.
What level are you, bro? You got to be up there.
Yeah, I'm up there. I'm 20 something right now,
Okay.
and the only reason why I don't play it every day is because I'm a busy man, and I got a full-time job, right? So if I had more free time, but every weekend, man, I'd be on Starfield every weekend.
I love it.
Yeah,
love
playing,
it, Unlimited. I think
I'm
the
hell out of the game.
14 or 15, but our brother Louis Frag is a level 50.
Yeah. Hey, somebody in my chat the other day said that they had 10 days of
in that game, and they're at some extremely high level.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so that puts me to shame.
It's very time consuming. Like, they try to say, they try to say, oh well, you Todd lied. You can't go to all these planets. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can. They tried to, oh no, you can't. Yes, you can. You can go to all these planets. This game has so much longevity. It has very longevity. It's going to be in the lore of Morrowind and games like Fallout. It's already in that category right now. There's just so much to do in Starfield. It's unbelievable. There's a lot to do in Starfield right now, bro. There's so much to do. Side missions. There's a ton of side missions. There's a lot to do in Starfield right now, man. And it's a beautiful, beautiful game. Beautiful game. They did a good job. They did a really good job with Starfield, man. I'm very excited. And yes, there's going to be little glitches and bugs. I had some that were minor, and I'm not going to lie about that. I'll always tell the truth. But no game is perfect. But right now, this game is this is the darling right now. Starfield is the darling game right now, bro. And that's all I hear people talking about is Starfield. I don't hear nothing else. I just hear about Starfield. I don't hear about Spider-Man, Wolverine 2035. I don't hear about none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm hearing about Starfield, bro. And the upcoming Forza, which is going to be breathtaking.
Now, this question I want to ask y'all too. Now, we know they got a thing with Wolverine coming out and all that stuff. But you know what? His name going to come out. Watch. His name going to come out. With everything what's going on with Sony now and all that stuff, with all the money that they're losing, how in the hell are they going to be able to come out with that game?
Oh, it's still going to come out because they overwork the people at Insomniac. That's why Insomniac is releasing so many damn games.
Yeah. That's another thing, Unlimited and Tuck. I think another downfall of Sony is I see them going bankrupt, man. Why do you want to bring out a handheld it's going to be dumpster fire outside the door? You want to try to make another PlayStation 5 when there's still a lot of people out there that don't even own a PlayStation 5, and you still want to keep making hardware. I think they're wasting their time, bro. They're wasting their time. Keep doing that. I heard so many negative articles about this ugly looking handheld that's trying to look like a Switch. If you look at it, it looks like a Switch. It kind of looks like a Switch with like boomerang handles or something like that. You know what I mean? It's just it's Unlimited. I'm like, why are they doing this? You can't take it out of your house, bro. You can take a Switch out of your house and play your Switch. You can't take this out of your house, man. This is a dumpster fire. I don't know why they're doing that, bro. It don't make no sense what Sony's doing right now.
I don't know what the end game exactly is for that new handheld either, because it's not like the PS Vita or PSP.
Yeah.
Where I used to own a PSP way back in the day.
Yeah.
And I used to just bring it to me when I went places, right?
Yeah.
But you can't really do that because it needs to be tied to the console and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I couldn't tell you the answer to that by any stretch of the imagination because it really is a baffling device to me. I'm not sure who the audience is for it. I'm not sure what the goal is for it or nothing.
And Unlimited, I'm hearing that guys that are on PlayStation that play PlayStation. I'm talking about the guys that don't, that they're really hating what Sony's doing with this thing, dude. They're voicing their opinions on it. They say it's an epic fail. It's ridiculous what they're trying to do. You can't.
Yeah. Hey, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to bring up something that I just found out just now.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So the reason why Jim Ryan is quote unquote stepping down is due to stress from his travels. So when he was going to California and Tokyo and Brazil and the Pitcairn Islands and the island of Guam and all that stuff, that was wearing his ass out.
Well, plus you can look like this too. Hell, all the places that he's going to, he's hearing bad news.
Yeah,
it can also be stressing him out too. Because he might be going to places, but because ain't nowhere in the world. If I'm going on vacation, Ain't no one where I'm gonna let them places stress me out. He's hearing the news. He's hearing what's going on with the PlayStation and all that stuff, and it's not good news at all. So if he's stressing out because of that, it's good that he's gone.
And Unlimited, I think there's Unlimited and Tuck. I think there's more behind that, though. I don't think it's just that. I think there's more behind that.
Hey, whichever one of you guys need to put that battery in your smoke alarm, please do so, because I hear that beeping, man.
You hear beeping? Is that you, Tuck? I don't have no beeping.
Put that battery in your smoke alarm, man. I don't know why black people never change that damn thing, man. Be letting that shit run on for years.
That's the truth, man. It's true, man.
Yeah.
You go in some podcasts, like other podcasts, you hear them talk and stuff, and you hear their smoke detector. It's the truth, bro. I never heard that. It's the truth, man. It's the truth, man. Us black people gotta learn to do. You know what I'm saying? We gotta,
Yeah, man. That thing is created to
What's
save
up,
your life.
Jay? Yeah, and we miss our brother Sega Forever. Sega Forever has been telling us too about the business practices of Sony and what Sony's been doing. I cannot wait to get back and chop up game with Sega Forever. He's been saying it forever too, man. And he even said that he believes Sony's downfall is coming soon. And it is, man. It really is, bro. I really believe that, man. I mean, I think they'll be in the game for a little while longer, and stuff like that. But at the end all be all, man, they cannot, absolutely not make Microsoft's Xbox go away. They never wanted Xbox to even become a reality.
Right.
They never wanted Sony to come out. And Bill Gates hates Sony. Do you guys know that?
I know that.
Bill Gates hates Sony. What's up, Vodka in the house? And it's not going away. It's not going to go away. You know what I mean? Then you got they never want to bring out another Switch, bro. I was talking to these girls on Unlimited. I go to this exchange. These two white girls, they're young. They have Switches, and then they found I had one. Oh, did you know that they're coming out with a new one? But she's like, but what I don't like about it is it's not backwards compatible. You can't play their games from your old Switch. I said, are you getting that?
I could see Nintendo doing that.
Yeah. And she said, I said, are you getting that, Kat? I'm still thinking about getting it because she's one of them big Zelda fans. I think she already beat it. But she's like, they're thinking about getting it, but they said the downfall of that is they don't like that you have to repurchase the games and you can't play your older games from your Switch on the new Switch. And I'm like, I don't know, girls. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wouldn't get it. I said, if you guys are going to get it, I know you guys are Nintendo. You guys like the Switch. You Switch fans, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's probably going to be expensive too. I'm like, I don't know about all that, man. I don't know. If you can't play your old games on it, nah. I wouldn't even get that. You should be able to port your shit over. They're telling you can't. I don't know. That's a cash grab. That's a cash grab, bro. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. They haven't officially announced anything yet, so everything she said is literally just hearsay right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. But I would not be surprised at all if the Switch 2 don't have backwards compatibility.
I know.
That just seems like such a Nintendo thing to do.
Unlimited. I know, man. I can't do it unlimited. I mean, I do have one, and I like it for on the go. My significant other got me, and I like it on the go. It's a nice little portable system. Yes, you can dock it. It's cool. But to me, it's a nice portable system. It's a nice portable system when you go on vacation. If you play with your kids or your wife or whoever, it's a nice portable system. I will give them that. It's a nice portable system. But I'm basically on my Xbox. Or I could take my laptop with me if we go on vacation, use that for my Game Pass, take the Switch on and go, whatever, but that's all it is to me. You know what I mean? It's, my box is the Xbox. So, I mean, and things are looking real good right now. Are you guys looking forward to anything coming up for the holidays?
That Avatar game looks like it could be cool.
I'm hearing that, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it could be cool. Yeah, there's this game called Banishers that looks awesome as well.
Banishers?
Yeah, Banishers, something of Eden. and it looks like a really cool RPG I could get behind. So those are two games coming out in the very late months, November, December, around that time. That I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Now I tell you right now.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Tuck. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I mean, it's like there was an interesting thing that happened last night because I had to get a brand new gateway. I had to get a brand new modem for my computer because the old modem went out. Mm-hmm. So it came in yesterday, and I turned it after my wife got through work, and I changed it over to the new modem. So what happened was I was having problems getting on to the Wi-Fi, and I knew what the problem was. So I called AT&T, and I talked to the guy, yesterday, and he already knew what the problem was too. Because the problem was that when you got the new gateway and all that stuff, it's gonna register underneath my wife's, her name and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Their name, but the Wi-Fi channel is Bruno. So and it showed up on my Wi-Fi thing like Tina Tucker .0011. So when I called him up, and everything, to make a long story short, we got that all straightened up and everything. Yeah. But I told him that I had 4 Xboxes in my house, and he said, "Well, how's that going?" I said, "Dude, it's going great." So he said he got a PC and all that stuff. So we got, he don't even know nothing about the Game Pass. He didn't know nothing about it. And I told him about it. He said, "Oh man," he said, "Dude," he said, "don't get me wrong." He said, I'm looking it up right now on my phone right now. The Game Pass, the PC Game Pass. Man, he already went on and bought a year prescription of it already. He said, "Dude, forget that, man. I don't have to worry about buying a game." I said, "Yeah, man, you don't have to worry about buying a game. I mean, you can buy it if you want to, but with the Game Pass, you don't have to do that. You can just try it out, and you can just play it when you want to. And if you decide that you want to buy it, you can. If you don't have to." So he just told me, he said, "Man, thank you, man, because let me tell you, man," he said, "I'm going to spend a lot of money on these doggone games. And these games cost a lot of money." Mm-hmm. So, he asked me what I think about the PlayStation. And I said, "Well, I'm just not even going to say nothing about it because I'm just going to leave it alone." And then he said, "That's what I thought." He said, "That's what I thought." He said, "You're a true gamer. If you got 4 Xboxes in your house, you're a true gamer." And that's it. He said, "That let me know not to buy the PS5. Because he's about to buy it." But I said, "Dude, don't buy that PS5. Man, please." So,
hey, look.
Yeah.
So hey, look at Tuck being a salesman, man. And that's what's up, man. He's pitching in everything, converting sales. Hey, man, Phil should be paying you commission, Tuck.
Yep.
Hey, I think Phil really need to be paying all of the commission because we the one that's carrying the brand. We got all these people out there that like the brand, they're talking about the brand, but they also talk about bad news about the brand.
Yep. Hey, man, me and Tuck fund their whole controller operation.
Oh, do y'all? I know y'all do.
We got so many damn controllers.
Man, you guys are like you Tuck and y'all, man, y'all got the controllers, bro. I can't.
Matter of fact, you already got yours too. All I gotta do is just get your address.
Take your time, Tuck. Take your time.
No, I just gotta get your address again because I'm mailing that bad boy out to you next month.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll send it to you in the I'll text it to you, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll text it to you, man. And we got a lot of great things that's going to be, coming out for us during the holiday too, man. I think it's going to be it's really a good year. It's really going to be a good holiday season, I think, for Xbox players. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, big time.
I think it is, man. I really do. I mean, I've been waiting for the Forza. I'm a big racing car fan. Me and Zink, and Zink. I think Zink got the ultimate. He got the big Kahuna. He got the ultimate thing and all that. I downloaded the thing to play it early, and then what I'm gonna do unlimited. I'm gonna just pick up the game physical later. I got other things I got to worry about right now. That's another thing that's good about the Game Pass, right, bro? If you're a collector, you can pick the game up later and still play the game, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's another thing, especially if you're a collector. If I can't get it right now, I could play some of it right now and then pick it up physically later because I collect the Forza games. So what's up, Hunter? Hunter in the building.
Hey, what's up? Hey, by the way, 100 also had a couple excellent podcasts.
Yes, he
did as well. He he was touching on the breaking news these last 2 days. You know, and man, usually it's Xbox who has all the breaking news, so it was a little weird that Sony's the one who's in the news lately, because they don't do nothing. They don't do shows or nothing.
Nope.
No, they don't.
Yeah, Hondo, he's been on fire, man. He's been having a great couple podcasts, bro. I mean, Hunter is always keeping it business, man. When it's
I know don't play around, boy.
Yeah, man. He's been around out here in these streets for a long time, man. Fighting a good fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, big shouts out to Intramedia Gaming. You know, he's been out here fighting a good fight for a long time, bro. And I like when he does his podcasts. It's him and Flip and all them on there. Livewire and all them. It's very, very, very good podcast, man. I love the Day One podcast with our brother 100, man. Out here speaking preaching the good truth out there, preaching the gospel of Xbox. You know, that's what it's all about, man. Because we never gave up. We never turncoated. We had a lot of people out here turncoat. We got our brother. Look who we got coming in here, man. Coming in here, man. We got our brother Hebot in the building.
Hebot's in the house.
Hey, I'm gonna get back to work, so I'm gonna be listening to y'all in the chat.
Oh, you get ready to go?
Yeah, I'm getting back to work.
All right, brother. Hey, Unlimited, thank you for coming, man, and chopping up game with me real quick. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, it's always great hanging out with you, Sega, man. It just sucks that we got different timelines. You can't be on the Limited Truth, and I can't be on the whole show with you.
On a third, sometimes I'll take a Thursday off sometimes too. I always will tell you if I'm home. I'll tell you when I'm home.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, so I can be on the podcast with all y'all.
Yeah, but I'm listening to you, Hebot, and Tuck chop it up, man.
All right, brother. Unlimited, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
We got our brother Hebot in the building. What's up, Hebot?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? What you up to, bro?
No, I was.
Oh, did I catch you while was you asleep?
I was asleep and I saw the attachment. I was like, what's going on? Oh, damn.
My fault, Hebot, bro.
You gotta call me.
I thought you'd be out and about, man. I thought you'd be out and about.
Well, usually I am in the morning, but this particular morning I wasn't. But that's okay. What's going on with you? What you were chopping it up about? What's going on now,
brother Hebot, man? I've heard.
Is there another hack?
Huh?
There was another hack.
Nah, man. I tell you what the greatest thing is since sliced bread, man. That your boy Jim Ryan stepping down, Hebot, man. What's going on with that, bro? What's your thoughts on that, man? That Jim Ryan is stepping down, man, off of Sony, man. What's going on over there?
It's a lot of things, man. A lot of things that came to that, brought this on this, to this situation.
Yeah.
The man came in what, 2020, 2019, I think it was.
Was it 2019?
Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
It was about 2019, I think, 2018. Hey, Tucker.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What's up, Bubba?
He came in 2019 as CEO.
Yeah, as the actual head of PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Ryan's been in the company for a long time, but he's been in the company in the European market, right?
He's been there for 28 years.
Yeah, he was part of the European market. Like he took care of stuff in Europe, right? He wasn't the the head of PlayStation. So he was basically the part of the European market. And what you call it? Obviously, when he came in, and I said this, or I tried to say this last night in 100's podcast. I said that when he came in, to be fair, he came in a situation when it was already turning into a shit show, right?
Yeah.
Because it was dwindling down, the whole situation narrative of PS4 having the best games or selling, it was all that stuff was starting to dwindle down. The PSVR 1 really didn't have any success. their first party games were not really having as much critically acclaim as they would, as people would always say they would be. There was a couple of things that you started noticing here and there. They had the hack on PS4. There was a couple of things, and then he came down. He came in when Sean Layden kind of stepped away, and Sean Layden pretty much tried to leave when it was a high note, right? Because he probably saw, because if you guys remember, he was saying that their games weren't selling as well because they were too expensive to make. If you remember, he said that, and that he had stated that going forward in the future, the idea was going to be to make high quality games, but either make less of them, right, to spend less money, or make them high quality but more cost efficient, so that they can make more money and not be as costly, because it was costing them a lot of money and not making enough returns for them. Sean Layden said this literally, it was months before he just left, because they started to see the numbers, right? That Game Pass was taking off. They saw Microsoft buying, studios. So that's when they started to do certain things. And I guess he basically saw that it was going to be a non-winning type of fight going forward, because they're very behind. They're very behind Sony. They've always been behind as far as what's going on in the now with gaming. And a lot of people always, us being the first ones, always said they need to start trying to invest in doing something like a Game Pass, or on their online infrastructure, have games with more online component, to have more engagement, things like that. And he came in and when it was already starting to get rough. So in that case, or in that sense, I said he got probably a raw deal, right? But as time went on, with him being the leader, he made it worse, because he started with his shenanigans, basically, like saying stupid comments, lying on stuff, lying about numbers, saying things like people don't care about old game, but they wanted to sell every remaster they possibly could. And he saw Microsoft was having success with backwards compatibility, and they didn't have it.
Yeah.
Saying shenanigans like that their investment in Bungie was a much more profitable and smart investment in Microsoft, going over to the UK, trying to convince the UK and trashing Xbox, saying they just want to take over.
You there?
That I'm. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. Go ahead. You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay. Making deals with games that don't belong, keeping them trapped on PlayStation, like games they did with Square Enix, right? And we saw that hasn't turned out as a good business margin or for them or for Square Enix, because games haven't really sold, right? What else? I'm trying to think. Give me 1 second, guys.
Go ahead.
Things like that. Things of that nature. A lot of things he's been doing. The PlayStation VR 2, not successful. Them investing or continuing to invest on things like that upcoming tablet for the console that's tethered to the console itself.
Right.
It's not really portable. It's more of a it's basically their own version of a Wii U pad.
Yeah.
You know, bad investments, just making bad investments, a lot of hot take comments, not really trying to be professional in the sense of being professional with companies like Microsoft, the way that Microsoft tries to be professional with them. We saw all the leaks when they went to court, all the things he said. He didn't even show up to court. He sent a video response to the court instead of being there in person.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things, right? And then obviously now we got that hack 2 days ago, which apparently supposedly they were gonna have the information was going to start to leak out starting today if they didn't pay the guys off, according to what the guys were saying. The people who hacked.
But I want to ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
How long do you really think Sony knew about this? Do you think they just knew about this right then and there? Or do you think they knew about this weeks coming into that?
What do you mean, brother? Like about him leaving?
No, about the leaks, about the hack.
The ones for PlayStation, you mean?
Right. I mean, because the other thing they found out, but I think they knew that a little bit longer than what we knew about.
I mean,
I don't see them doing something right there.
Wait till they get it. Usually, when the company gets hacked, they don't know about it. It just happens, and I think that's what happened. I don't think they knew about it, but I do think that they probably have a lot of compromising information, right? That's gonna hurt the company long term, and I think that's also part of the reason why Jim Ryan probably was like, "Oh, you know what? I gotta get out because I don't want to take the blame or get the blame for whatever happens that could hurt the company in a more crippling way, right?" So he's just trying to get out. Look, when a person's saying they're stepping down, right? Because a lot of people are trying to change the narrative that, oh, it's because he's been there for 30 years, he's tired, he's just going to go and do other things. No. When a person steps down and there's nobody in place to replace him, that's when you know it's something else. Because usually when a person says they're stepping down, they already have somebody in place to replace them. Somebody that has a big enough position to know that they can control that position. You know what I'm saying? The way that Disney did, right? When they changed their position. They have somebody coming in, this little Korean or Japanese dude, has to do and really has spent most of his career based on mobile gaming. That tells you that the dude has no experience with a company that has big hardware like consoles and shit like that. That's even worse because this can come in and make it even harder for them and worse for them. Like I said, if that is the case and they don't find nobody that is deemed a position, right, that knows what he's doing, I don't see them surviving no more than 2 years. They're going to be done. Because their investments are going down, their money's faltering, they don't have probably enough funds at the moment to pay the rest of the people that are doing other projects for them, and the third-party games that they have exclusive coming to the console, they probably got to finish paying them off as they're going along, and they probably can't meet that if things keep going downhill. I know Spider-Man is going to give them a window of income to try that will help them maybe for a little bit longer. But let's just say hypothetically, because there's not really a lot of hype behind it, right? people just basically saying it's another Spider-Man, and they're not really floored by it, right? Like the way and the impact like Starfield is doing, right? Because it's a new IP. Let's just say hypothetically, if Spider-Man doesn't do well at all, or just does okay, that's gonna really fuck them up too. Because remember, they invested a lot in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
You know, making the money for it, the actors, you know, the marketing. If they don't make that, no, you know, enough money from that, that could really start fucking them up already as it is. Because you got to think Spider-Man's a big IP. Even though it's just another Spider-Man game, it's still a big IP, right?
Yeah.
So if that doesn't do well for them the way the first one did, it's going to hurt them also, right? Because they paid more money for the second one, obviously, to get to for the exclusivity. They didn't pay for the development. That was Disney because it's Disney games who pays for the development. But
Yeah.
the marketing, they spend way more for the marketing, which is expensive. You know, and all those types of details from you know with the games of where the money goes to. So if they got to make that back somehow. If they don't do that because somehow the game doesn't do as well as the first one did, that's going to be start the crippling for them even more. Because, like I said, the guy that's coming into the position, he's from mobile gaming space. He's from the mobile gaming space. Mobile gaming, I don't care what anybody says, it's not console gaming, right? He don't have the experience that somebody like Jim Ryan does because he's been doing it for years for consoles. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reality is, it's really difficult to think that they're okay knowing that all this shit is happening. You know, them not being able to access, you know, let's say something like Call of Duty from this point going forward, where they would always get first dibs, even if they get the deal, they got the deal for 10 more years, right? The whole point is that Call of Duty is going to be on Xbox on Game Pass. So people are now going to migrate over to play it on Xbox.
Of course.
Because if you can play the game at no cost, day and date, right?
Yeah.
Versus having to buy the game flat out.
Mm-hmm.
Common logic is going to tell you that people are not going to buy the game flat out. They're going to pay it on Game Pass, right? Especially a game like Call of Duty, that it's a yearly thing, and people are tired of playing because it's a series that's been ongoing with the exception of the casuals that play the game, right?
Yeah.
Meaning the guys that only play Call of Duty, right? Those are the only guys that see it like something fantastic because they're so used to just playing the game every year. And I sincerely doubt that Microsoft, once everything's finalized next month, right, is going to commit to making sure that the team at Activision makes a Call of Duty every year. Microsoft's not going to do that. Microsoft is going to give the team the freedom to do the game at their lenience, at their convenience, so that they can make a better product every year, every time it comes out. So don't be surprised, Tuck, right? And Sega, man, if Call of Duty starts to come out and release maybe every 3 years, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So if the game starts to come out every 3 years, even though Sony has that deal for another 10 years, because that wasn't in the clause. The clause didn't say, Microsoft, you better make a Call of Duty every year. And that's what people fail to realize. That wasn't in the deal. That was never said. All that was said was that please that Sony can still have the marketing deal for Call of Duty to be on PlayStation for 10 more years. Right?
Yeah.
And again, The caveat with that is that it never said Call of Duty had to be released every single year, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Microsoft can definitely say, you know what, we will make Call of Duty going forward, but it was going to be a every 3 year release because we want the team to have enough time to be creative. We want the team to have enough time to make a great product and be happy with what they're making. Because one of the reasons they switched out, one of the reasons how they continue to have Call of Duty every year was because every year it was made by a different developer, right?
Right.
But the time slot that they had to make it was very small. It's like a smaller window.
Right.
And if you don't have enough time to be creative and come up with better ideas, then that's why you're not getting a better product. If you notice, the last couple of Call of Duties have been either remakes of the old one or they're trying to do a reboot of an old one. Like the Modern Warfare 2 that's coming out is basically a reboot of the Modern Warfare 2 that came out in 360, right?
Yeah.
Because creatively, it's hard to continue to come up with new ideas.
Now, you're
Especially
talking about Modern Warfare 3, right?
Huh?
You're talking about Modern Warfare 3, the one that's going to come out next month.
Right, 3. I'm sorry, I said 2. Right? Yeah, 3.
Yeah, it's like you said. I mean, and that's coming out on a short notice.
Right. Well, I mean, Tug, that's what I'm trying to say. They're already starting to feel that what they call it, that fatigue, right?
Oh, yeah.
That developers fatigue because the franchise has been milked for so long. There's been so many versions and so many every single year that the ideas are not there because there's not enough time to be creative enough to make a solid new version of the game, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's what people need to understand. The reason why, for example, right, case on point, the reason why Bethesda's games, when they make something, they're able to create something fresh or something that's new or creative, even though it feels a lot in similar structurally, right? Is because they don't make games that come out every year. Their games come out every 6 years, every 5 years. They take their time in trying to create something new or in a new, atmosphere, a new world, or a new creation, come out with new ideas, new story. Because to be creative and do something new and try to make it fresh, right? Because pretty much everything has been done to this point. It takes time. You need time. And if you're making a franchise that comes out every single year, you're not going to have that creativeness or enough creativity, even if you use different developers to come up with something new. It's going to feel more forced or rushed. That's why the Call of Duties don't have that impact anymore that it used to have back in the day when they were coming out, and then you would get one like every 3 years or every 2 years instead of that yearly release. Once they started coming out yearly, it started to lose that impact. You see what I'm saying? And so, I mean, a lot of people may deny it, like I said, like the Call of Duty fans, but that's just the reality, with anything. That's why I appreciate when Gears of War comes out, because it don't come out every year. Right now, I'm savoring for the new one, just like Sega Man, right? Because it's been a while since we got the old one, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, we probably won't see another Gears for another 2 years because they started working on it, but it was just recent. It wasn't that long ago. I guess the team at Coalition has been working on the ideas, the story, what they're going to do with the next game, the approach. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that takes time. Sometimes people take a year or two just to write a story that makes sense for a movie or for a game, right?
Right.
And that should be indicative of how difficult the process is, right? especially when these companies, right? And that's the reason why it's hurting Sony the way that it has, are spending fucking $250 million to make one game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
To make one game, and then when that game comes out, it has to sell a certain amount physically so they can make money. Because I keep telling people, as much as I hate to say it, but games that sell physically don't make enough money the way it used to, due to the cost of games.
Yep.
So back in the day, if they sold 5 million copies, that made them a boatload of money. Now they have to sell maybe 15 million copies just to break even, because the game costs $250 million, right?
Yeah.
That's also a reason why Microsoft and a lot of companies and publishers are pushing the digital games so hard. Because when you buy the game digitally, like I said last night in the Unlimited Truth or in Unlimited Show, 75% of profit goes to the publisher and developer. And then 25 or sometimes 30 to 35% go to the company selling it, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Nintendo, or whether it's PlayStation. And that is why they've been pushing it so hard. Because companies make way more money, and publishers, when they make their games, when they sell it digital, because they're getting all the money to them. There's only two people they split with: the console it's on, the platform, and then the rest goes to them. So you're cutting out the middleman. There's no longer, oh, we have to ship out to Target, Walmart, pay them a percentage. There's no longer we have to pay for international import fees. We have to pay for the cover of the game. We have to pay for the box of the game. We have to pay for storage space. We have to pay for shelf space. There's no longer any of that. You see what I'm saying? And that's why digital is being pushed so hard. That's why I understand why digital has to exist, because it's to help developers and publishers. And then they'll say, oh, well, it's not our problem that the developers worry about the developers and publishers' pocket. Yes, it's not our problem. You're right. But the reality is, if they don't make money, we ain't gonna get more games from them.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there has to be a point where, hey, listen, we got to give. Why you think so many games try to push microtransactions? That's why. Because they want to make more money to be able to sustain the company, the developer, or to have enough funds to make their next projects, which are the next games, right? All that stuff is for a reason. Everything you see now. Now, are there publishers and developers out there doing it that don't need it because they're a bunch of greedy fucks? Of course they are. EA is one of them. Perfect example.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all those other smaller studios and companies that did great games like Evil West, Otis, Under the Wave, all those other companies that bring out good quality games that are smaller as far as the presence that they have, right, in the gaming scene. They need a pushback. They need a way to continue to maintain themselves, like the people doing Alone in the Dark, the reboot. They pushed the game back, and when they said why they pushed it back, what was their answer? Well, we don't want to compete with Call of Duty, Starfield, and Spider-Man, and now Alan Wake 2. Those games are big, and they're going to overshadow our game because our game is not popular like that. So we want to give it its own time slot so that the game can sell and maybe have room for success. And that makes perfect sense. And this is what the casuals or the regular Joe Schmoes that play video games do not understand, right? And then, to be honest, a lot of the hardcore games that should be that should know, that have been playing for years, are also kind of oblivious to this situation. So they don't understand it as well. That's the reason why digital is being pushed so hard. And to be honest, that's the reason why I don't have animosity towards the digital idea. What I want is that they still make physicals, especially with certain type of games like a Halo or like a Forza or a
Yeah.
Gears, or even certain games like the Gunk, like Unlimited said last night. I would love to have a physical of Hi-Fi Rush, the Gunk. I think they would do very well. They don't have to sell it for $60 or $70. They can sell it for a little bit over the price. If the game is 25, sell it for 35, and be fair, right? Because it's physical, so you gotta take that cost of them putting in physical, take into accountability. So if the game is digitally 25, then physically sell it for 35 or even 40. So they could kind of make up for that cost, right? For the game being physical. And put it out there, because those are games that deserve to have a physical copy for ownership, because you know, just the fact that they're so unique and good games in their own right. Plus, when they're on the store, and let's say when people walk into Walmart, Target, or a GameStop, they'll see the game on the shelf, be like, "Yo, what's this? Hi-Fi Rush? What the fuck is this?" Or the Gunk, "What's this?" Or you know what I'm saying? Because that's the other problem. If you don't have them physical, right? People don't even know the game exists, because if they're not on the Xbox and the ecosystem, and they don't know how to look for it, they're not gonna know it exists. I've talked to so many people that I've shown them games that are Xbox exclusive, like Local Cycle, like Crimson Dragon, like Max Curse of the Brotherhood, like Ori and the Blind Forest. Well, not Ori because they ain't got a physical, but you know what I mean. Games like that, right? That I tell them, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know this was on Xbox. I didn't know this was an exclusive," because you don't see it. You have to look for it in the store. You don't see it, and especially if they're older, because they've been out for a while, so they're not advertising them no more. So you gotta take that into accountability. Like Psychonauts 2. I bought Psychonauts 2. That wasn't published by Microsoft. Somebody else brought it out physically, and the game was like 60 or 70, or in some places 90. But I bought it because I know it's a great game and I wanted it physical, right? So again, that's why I want physical and to be exist with digital, because it deserves to be for the people that are out there that only know physical or how to buy physically, that don't know how to search stores and look for stuff digitally, and that way they know that there's other games available for Xbox. That's why I said they both need to coexist. And again, all this correlates together. All this, is part of the whole situation of what's going on, the changing and the shifting and gaming, and that's one of the biggest reasons, going back to Jim Ryan's situation, why Jim Ryan, him leaving, has to do with all the failures and all the bad investments. Because they're late to the game. Now they want to do gas games, and when they ask in the interview, "So how you plan to make money with these gas games if you know your audience is usually just more accustomed to having cinematic experience?" And he said, "Well, they all have to do well. Not one, all of them. When realistically speaking, those games, all 10 of them are not going to do well. Maybe one or two will do well out of all the 10. So that means they already know that they're not going to have returns and investments, or a good return on their investment, which is already a big risk. And they already know and see that, and that's not just going to happen. So, I think that their situation is a lot worse than people know, because they like to lie to the investors just to make it seem like everything's okay. But I think the situation is a lot worse. And him stepping down is just, it was just a part of him, not helping or doing what he needed to do the right way to concentrate more on the company the way it needed to be concentrated on, like investing in security on their online structure. He should have told them that, we have to cut our ties and our losses with projects like VR2, and this upcoming stupid pad that they're doing, because all those things are money that they could have put in somewhere else where it would help benefit them to make money. Right? You see how now they want to make a controller for people that are disabled, right? Which is a little too late. Now they wanted to make their own elite controller for those who play on a professional level, but it's super expensive, way more than the one for the Xbox, and that again a little too late. There's just a lot of things. They're so behind that I think it affected them in a way where they're in a bind.
Oh yeah.
He knows it. He sees it. He don't know how to fix it. So he's gonna step down. So in case shit goes completely downhill, he don't get the blame for it. You know, that's what I think is going on. Even though I see a bunch of people saying, "Oh, Sony fired him." Who fired him? If he's the head of Sony, who fired him?
Yeah.
You know how people are like saying that internally. People are saying there's a lot. There's people doing YouTube videos, right, trying to say that Sony fired him because he made them lose so much money. And I'm like, how did Sony fire him if he's the head of Sony? Yeah. That don't make no sense. What you say?
Don't make no sense at all.
He just stepped
how
down.
How did the head of a company get fired if he's the head of the company?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That don't make no sense.
No, he's stepping down because he knows the ship is sinking, and he don't want to get the blame for it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I can see that. Definitely see that.
Oh hell yeah.
And plus that whole debacle with all the fucking emails that came out with the CMA situation that made him look stupid, that made him kind of look like an embarrassment to the company. He's not stupid. The man knows that it looks bad, and it looks bad because of him. He knows it. He knows that it looks worse now because of him, even though it was already starting to get bad. It just looks worse since right? So he's gonna try to step away. He's not gonna try to not step away and go down with the ship and make it look like, and that'll be his legacy. Oh, Sony closed down thanks to stupid ass Jim Ryan. You know what I mean? Yeah. He doesn't want that to be on his legacy, especially since he was there for all those years. I mean, that just makes sense. And again, nobody just steps down with having no replacement, because again, that dude that's supposedly going to replace the position, he comes from the mobile space, the mobile market. He does not know shit about console market. He don't know shit. So they better find somebody super fast that does know. Like, I don't even know why Yoshida just doesn't go back in the position, because he's there. He what do you call it? He demoted himself to the indie space or the indie department. But I don't know if he can. I don't know if he could promote himself back to that position. I'm not sure.
But how old is he though?
Yoshida?
Yeah.
I mean, he's up there in age. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he should be. He's up there in age for sure. I don't know if that's another thing. Due to his age, that's why.
That could be.
He can't really take the position back, maybe. I don't know. But again, like I said, we're going to know as time goes on real fast all the dirt and what's really going on. Because again, this feels to me like the calm before the storm. Him stepping down is just the beginning of it, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to start to see the aftermath, like what really is going on, how bad in the situation are they really in, what type of bind they're in. And again, like I said, if things like a Spider-Man doesn't do well for them, or as good or as well as it did with the first game, that's gonna also put another hurt in their situation, in their pocket, in their situation that they're in right now, as far as games.
Hey, but like I said earlier, it's gonna hurt them because let me tell you, with all this stuff going out with this hack and all that stuff, ain't nowhere in the world that I was gonna be. I mean, I know Spider-Man will be out next month. I mean, less than a month now.
Right, and to be October something, I think.
And if this hack thing is real serious, and they start hacking into people's accounts again, this could be doom and gloom for Sony. This could be really doom and gloom for them because especially if they want to go come out with Spider-Man, ain't nowhere in the world somebody gonna be able to trust that. At least I don't think they will, but we know these ponies, they trust Sony. Either way it go. So but as far as I am concerned, if I own a PS5 and I get hacked, I'm through with you. Ain't no
a lot of people are still gonna buy PlayStation 5 because they don't know the inside, the inside and out of what's going on, the way that we do or that we pay attention to, right? They don't know the details of what's going on.
Yeah,
but
from here on out, I'll tell them, hey, don't touch that system right now. They just now almost got hacked. So no, don't deal with them right now. And I'll tell them. I said, nah, it's all up on you if you want to buy it, but I will tell them.
Most people are just buying based on popularity. Oh, because it's the console everybody wants, so to speak. Right. But it's not even. But I think even the sales haven't been as big, especially in the last month, as Xbox because of the Starfield.
Oh yeah.
And you saw that even Amazon themselves reported that the console was 1,000% high up. As far as sales.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. Like I said, I've seen a lot of videos of people saying, I bought an Xbox just to play Starfield.
Yeah.
Because I was so interested in the game.
Me too.
So, that tells you the kind of impact that it's having. And paradigm shift, like E-Rock likes to call it. So that's indicative of the situation. Like, that's also probably something that's hurting them, that the console sales right now for PS5 are not up. I told you guys see when I put those videos when I go to Best Buy every week, because I go every week for my son. And when I record, you see the PS5s on the top of the shelf all the time. They have a bunch of them just sitting there, right? And they're not really moving. So that could be also part of what's going on as well, financially, especially, for them.
Well, what have we always have said? We always have said that they don't got no damn 44 million consoles out there. Because they did, they game sales would be a whole lot better than what it is. I mean, Final Fantasy only sold 3 million. That's a flop.
Yeah,
that is a big time flop.
Well, that's another situation.
One of the biggest games of their generation.
That's another thing that's going on with them. So that whole ordeal with the Final Fantasy. For example, right? Square Enix came on and said, it wasn't profitable. It really wasn't profitable, and it hasn't been with a lot of the games that have been on PlayStation that they produced or that they have exclusive deals with. And that's why you saw that the new owner came in right away. The first thing he did was, we're making a deal with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Right? And that's because nobody wants to be out and about as far as, when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, they're not stupid. If they continue in the path they're going, there's not going to be a left.
I mean, they already sold almost every doggone thing to 10 cent. I mean, they didn't sold what? The Lord Prophet.
You talking about Square Enix? I'm not sure how much they sold. You're talking about Square Enix?
Oh, they done sold a lot of IPs to 10 cent. So I'm just saying, if you sell a lot of, you sell a lot of your IPs to the competition, and you know you need them games, and you just keep on making deals with Sony for the hell of because of their culture, as they say. No, man, forget that culture bull crap. Like I said, I ain't showing no loyalty. Now, like I always have said, if you own the IP as Sony or if Microsoft own the IP, that's a whole lot different. But if I'm Square Enix, I am not gonna make no damn game no exclusive to any game, to any system, because we're number one with Square Enix, and we don't have to do that.
Yeah,
we don't have to do that. We just put both games on both systems. Let that be that. But I don't even know how much Sony paid them to do that. But it must not have been enough. You get what I'm saying? It must not have been enough for them, because they come out complaining about the sales wasn't enough, and which is true.
But there's also the cost. Remember, they spend a lot of money on making their games. Well, they put exclusive on PlayStation, right?
Well, that's the reason why we're not signing an exclusive deal like that. I would not have signed an exclusive deal. How much these games are making? That game right there should at least 6 million, 6 to 7 million copies within a month span. And we know the Xbox people would have played that game.
Mm-hmm.
They would have played that game. They'd have paid money for that game. And it might have came out more than what the PlayStation people are playing. Because like they say, they don't play no games. Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, if it was me and my company, I would not have signed an exclusive deal with Sony or either Xbox. We don't have to. EA don't have to. Take-Two don't have to. Not when our company's doing so good. And Square Enix is not doing all that great, because the last couple of games that came out, Unspoken, bust. The Avengers game, a bust. Until that game came to Game Pass and they made a little bit more money. But other than that game was a bust. All because of their pride and their culture, that they want to protect the Sony brand. And I wouldn't have done it. I would have just told them people straight up, no, we ain't doing that. And I'm glad to see that new CEO come in and do that crap. And I tell you nothing.
You know.
And let me get through. And another thing too, how long is that deal with? I want to know how long is the deal with Final Fantasy 16? Because I guarantee you right now, once that deal is done, and it comes out on the, it could be, they could just bring it to the Game Pass after that deal is done. So if they bring it to the Game Pass, people are gonna play it and they're gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because as of right now, they're gonna have a loss coming up around December, because the game's gonna go on sale. I'm not really sure if the game's on sale now, but they taking a loss. And like I always try to tell my friend, and he's ignorant, and I'm always trying to tell him. I said, he said, well, they're gonna be making money in December when they put the game on sale. Dude, it's not about the game coming on sale. It's about the first 2 weeks when the game comes out. The first month is crucial. But but who am I? I'm just a regular guy that kind of know about business in a business sense. So, I'm through with that. So, but all I gotta say is this, man. Whatever Sony gonna do, like me, E-Rock, Sega Man, yourself, Ebot, all of us have said that it's going to come a day when Sony going to have to wake up and smell the coffee and smell their roses, and they might be done as a company. And that's all I'm saying about that.
Yep. Some good points there, Ebot.
But that was me, Tuck.
No, I know you, but I'm talking about when he was going in about why
heck yeah.
Jim Ryan is leaving. It makes all kind of sense, brothers. It really does. You know?
Make damn good sense.
Well,
I mean, the biggest problem is that most people, like I said, like when it comes to like media and the Sony panderers and shit, like IGNs and shit like that, Dustin LeGarry, they're gonna try to sweep this under the rug like it's something to do with him just retiring, like I said, based on him being there a long time. They're not gonna really speak about it like it's something that can potentially be crippling for Sony, right? Or hurting, or really hurt the business and the brand and have a big impact. They're not gonna sell it in that way. They're not gonna. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
you're right.
And that's really the bad part, because those are the dudes that unfortunately everybody relies on, that are casual, that believe, they trust in them. That's why IGN got fucking millions of subscribers, and Dustin already got almost 100,000+ subscribers, even though he just started his channel a few months ago. Because most of the people actually think, because they've been part of IGN or done other things that has to do with the gaming industry, that, these guys they're reliable, they know everything, they're the source, right? Instead of them being responsible and taking the position that they have to actually bring out the real message of what this can potentially do, hurt, or be for the company, right? Or mean, so that the fans that are oblivious of what goes on behind closed doors can have a better understanding of the situation that it's in right now, the company as a whole.
Yeah.
But they're not going to take that responsibility. That's what makes it worse, because the only guys that will speak on it the way that it should be, it's guys like us. But we don't have enough following, right? So our impact probably won't even be felt or even seen, because we don't have a bigger following and audience. And that's the fucked up part, right? That's the fucked up part, because these dudes, again, like I said, like a Dustin or IGN, are not going to speak on it to the point where it shows the actual audiences that follow them that Sony could be potentially in a lot of trouble right now, right? Financially, as a company, as a business, which people have a right to know and be aware of. Because and we all know, right? Because Microsoft is so big. If it would have been something Microsoft, like Phil Spencer stepping down, they would have said, you see, Game Pass is not working. You see, the company's losing money. They're trying to play it off. You see, all that investment they're doing is not bringing them back any profit, blah, 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 even though they keep reporting every month or every 3 quarters that they've made so much profit, how much they made. You know what I'm saying? But it would have been completely, totally different, approach. Then it'd been like, Phil Spencer, finally. We all knew that he wasn't as good as people making him out to be, always making him seem like he's the best. Phil Spencer, look, he left. Even if he would have said, I'm just retiring because I've been there for so long. And Phil's been there since he was 18. Phil's probably in his 50s already. So you figure the man's been in the company for almost 35, 40 years. So if he retired, it would make sense because he's been there so long. But then people wouldn't, you would see the media and these other people outlets with their big YouTubers that have more of a following. They would be pasting this as, because they want to make everything digital. The console is dead. They want to kill gaming. You see what I'm saying? Because you see when people, and I'm sorry, Sega man, I don't mean to prolong your show if you're trying to cut it out.
Go right ahead.
It's just I got the thought while Tuck said the points that he pointed out.
Go ahead, brother.
Like when you see all these guys do videos about, oh, Microsoft is trying to take away our gaming rights or kill physical medium, because you see a lot of it, right? You see a lot of people doing videos on it. That's why they're trying to make the consoles all digital. You never see any of those guys explain why digital has become so prevalent and important. Because of what I said, because that's how they make more money. That's what's keeping developers and publishers from not closing down. That's what's actually making them have success. Just like microtransactions, that's another form of making money that they use to make that money and revenue they're trying to look and seek out for, so that they can fucking make their next games and pay for their next game or pay their employers. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
None of them explain that. They all just making it seem like Microsoft is the big bad wolf that wants to kill physical medium. They don't care about preservation. They're a bunch of liars. That's all you hear them saying. But they don't explain why. Because even if you go look, you can check right now. There's an article that was put out not too long ago that said that even on PlayStation, 87% of their sales, 87% of their sales are digital, not physical.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But they're making it seem like it's Microsoft that just wants to kill it because Microsoft is doing supposedly a new slim version model of the X without a disc.
Yeah.
They don't even know if Microsoft did it that way to add, obviously, the more memory, the new features like the UC charger, and make it more efficient, as far as energy goes. And they have a plan to sell a portable disk drive that you can buy separately for maybe 30 or 40 bucks so that you can play physical games on it. They don't know if that's the plan. They have no idea. They have no clue. These are leaks. Leaks are never indicative 100% of everything that's going on. Sometimes there are things that don't even exist anymore. Or sometimes there are things that have been completely changed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're just making assumptions right away, right? Without really knowing the full picture because they haven't been presented to us yet. But yet these guys are doing all these videos. Microsoft doing this, they're going to do everything. Blah, 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 blah. And again, I'll do a video on my channel where I'll sit there and be like, look, this is the real situation. This is what's going on. Much as we hate it, but digital is what's saving the games and developers and publishers, because they make more money. And them making more money keeps them afloat. That's just common sense. That's business 101. But do I love physical? Absolutely, 1,000%. I prefer physical over digital. Why? Because I like owning my stuff. I like touching what I feel and touching what I own and being able to know that I can touch it and play it whenever I want and not be restricted over or under a online, service or connection. That's me. That's why I like physical. But I'm going to tell you in that video the ins and the outs and the whys and speak logically, comprehensively, and with common sense that tells you, oh, there's a reason behind this madness, and this is why. I'm not going to be like, oh, Microsoft just like to kill the digital from big bad wolf. When there's data out there that shows you 87% of gamers are buying digitally. And there's data out there that proves that the digital games make the companies more money, just like Game Pass. Game Pass makes developers money because Microsoft pays them up front a certain amount of money, depending on the game, depending on the studio, so that they can have guaranteed money up front in case the game doesn't do well. If they just release it flat out to the store without it being on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right? They get guaranteed money up front. And they also get the guarantee that people will be able to see it, play it at no risk, and if they like it, more than likely they'll buy it. And that's why you see these developers saying, Game Pass help my game. Because by people playing it entices people to actually buy the game. Because yes, not all games stay on Game Pass. Only the first party stuff. Everything else stays there for a few months and then leaves.
Well, that's true.
Bottom line. Look at how they were paying Rockstar. What was it? 15 million or 10 million a month
like
to have GTA on the fucking thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Just to have GTA on Game Pass, a game that's like 15, almost 20 years old. And they were paying them 15 to 10 million a month. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Rockstar don't want to make a brand new game because they're living beautifully off of the DLCs they keep doing and the content they keep putting every 6 or 7 months or whatever it is that they do. And they're living beautifully off of that and don't want to make a new game, and yet they're getting all that money to have it on Game Pass. You're gonna tell me Game Pass don't make developers money?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You saw how much it would cost them to have something like Star Wars? It's like 300 million a month. Bro, for that, take that 300 million and buy studios. So that you can flat out own the property. I don't want them to do that shit, but yet they don't pay people, they don't pay developers and publishers money. Game Pass is making them lose money. Like, that's why you hear that type of conversation from people. You like, you know what? This guy's a fucking moron. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
The data's out there. The proof is out there. You keep having success story after success story. Like High on Life. High on Life did so well. You saw they just announced that Halloween expansion, which is called High on Knife or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, because it did well. And it now even went to PlayStation. So again, you know, that's my example. That guys out there are not gonna do the responsible thing and speak about all the ins and outs.
Yeah.
And be in detail. Like those guys, like I said, for example, that are talking about the digital idea, digital future, or what does it mean with the digital console? They're just trying to make it seem like is Microsoft being bad, trying to take your rights, but not really explaining the reason and madness behind why digital is becoming so prevalent and important. You see?
Yeah.
They want to say one side of the story to make Microsoft look like the big bad wolves, but they're not really giving their audience the details, which that means they're not being responsible. But we're the fanboys. Somebody like Hebot is a fanboy that talks shit and don't know what he's talking about. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you the details and the facts and every point of view and be truthful. But I'm the fanboy. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's also the problem why Sony is in the position they're in and why the gaming industry as a whole is in the position that it's in. Because there's too much irresponsible people in social media not being responsible to the audience and to the consumers.
Well, they don't care about the consumer, man. That's what it boils down to. They don't care about the consumer at all. As long as it's news, that's what it's all about. And that's what it's all about.
They try to pin everything negative on Xbox, my brother Tuck.
Well, like I said, it's all about news. And people like bad news.
It's what makes them money. It's what keeps them relevant. You see what I'm saying?
It's what makes them money, and like you said, it's relevant. So it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's true. But I mean, but the thing about it is this is what I'm hating to see when the next Grand Theft Auto come out. What I'm hearing is that they're gonna charge $100 for that game. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm hearing. They said,
well, see, here, look, the comment.
And that's just so I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Oh, and you know one thing, I got an answer for both of y'all too. Sega Man and Ebot. Look like this. I would pay you to go to Washington right now.
Yeah.
Sega Man, I would pay you to go to Washington right now and take care of what's the name from the FTC. Go down there and tax it because she haven't had none in a long time. She's just trying to be mean again for no reason at all. Trying to start crap up again and knowing that it's not going to be stopped.
Yeah.
So I pay you money to go down there and tax that ass.
Man.
I'll just pay you money. I said, like, nerd.
Right? I know, bro.
I ain't never seen nobody be so mean, man.
Man, I tell you. Well, hey, Tuck, I got to get out of here, bro.
Yeah, I understand. I
gotta go to work.
Close this thing off, man.
Got to go to work, and I really let me give a shout out to the chat real quick.
Okay.
So let's give a shout out to our brother Unlimited that joined us today. Peltrex, Anthony Chipmunk, aka Tony. Mr. Kima was in the building. Lewis Frag was in the building, man. Our brother Rain G4 has been out in these gaming streets forever. Was with us today. We got Andy. Andy was in here spitting some straight facts out here. Big shouts out to Andy, man.
He was spitting that real good.
Yes, he was, man. Yes, he was, man. Our brother, Radiance 96 was in here. Who else we had? We had Jay. Thanks, Jay, for coming and stopping by. My brother, Doc Avok. You know, he's from my part of the neighborhood. So, big shouts out to Doc Avok, man, that was in here with us. We got Hebok coming back in right now, man. Let's get Hebok back in here real quick before I finish off reading everybody in the chat. Hold on 1 second. All right, brother Hebot is back. Brother Hebot, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we do our outros, bro?
Yeah. I was just trying to say as an example, one more thing.
Go ahead.
That proves what I'm trying to say about the information that's out there, right? In as far as Sony and games in general and things like that. There's a guy you had a comment there somewhere where he was talking about that Sony funds all their third-party deals and stuff like that, and to be on their console and Call of Duty and shit like that. Again, that's false. No, Sony does not fund games like Silent Hill 2, Call of Duty, Paradise Eve, that's coming out soon. The Last Ronin. No, they don't fund those because they don't belong to them. What Sony does is they pay for the exclusivity, and they'll publish the game, but not publish the game to bring the game out. No, they publish the game because under the bracket of publishing is marketing. They'll publish by marketing the game to put commercials out there saying, hey, this game is exclusive to PlayStation. That's how they play their role in the publishing department. They're not publishing by paying for the game to be released in stores and putting it on a box and on a disc. No, that's a different type of publishing, right? They publish by marketing it so people know that it's on PlayStation because it's their console. Right. And then what they do is they pay the company some money to make it exclusive to the console. Whether it's a year or a lifetime, that's depending on the deal. But that's what they do. They do not fund none of those games from Square Enix, Activision, even Spider-Man is not funded by them. That's funded by Marvel Games. It's Marvel that puts up the money. That's why Spider-Man has been able to maintain such a high level of quality as far as the presentation, meaning how it looks, the graphics, acting, the mocapping, because they pay for those, for that type of level of presentation. Yeah. That's why the game has high presentation quality, because Marvel Games pays for it. All Sony does is pay to keep it exclusive on their console, which is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the guy's name, but I saw the comment he was saying. That's the type of thing that I'm talking about. That because of media not being honest and big influences like a fucking Matty Plays or just giving an example, right? I'm not saying that directly those people, but I'm saying like a Matty Plays or a Richard Utek that has almost 1 million subscribers or Angry Joe or a Dustin Legary, that been in the industry, or a motherfucking person like fucking like stupid ass Colin Moriarty, with his Sacred Symbol podcast or Kind of Funny Game. All those guys that are in a bigger position, that have a bigger followership or viewership, they don't do the responsible thing by giving out all the details. And that is why people are misinformed. And they think things like, oh, Spider-Man does belong to Sony. No, it does not. Sony does not own none of those video game rights because the merchandising rights belongs to Marvel. Disney, Marvel. Sony only owns the movie rights. That is why they have a relationship, because in order for Marvel to use Spider-Man in their movies, they have to give Sony something back. And what are they giving them? The rights to Marvel games. That's why they're doing Wolverine. They don't own Wolverine either. Okay? So again, to finish off what I was trying to bring up as a topic, that is what I'm talking about. That is an imperfect example right there of false information that people out there that are not really on the know, that think that are not true. Like, oh yeah, it's Sony who funds everything. No, they do not. They do not. That's a lie. That's false information. They only pay for exclusivity or pay for marketing, the publishing marketing the game, to publish the marketing for the game. Okay? Because it's on their console. They want to market so people know that it's on PlayStation. That's why they do it. Because it benefits them, obviously. That's the only thing they do. They do not pay for the games to be, the development of the game, the money that goes into making the game. They don't pay like Microsoft did, for example, while they paid for Tomb Raider 2, the Rise of Tomb Raider. They paid Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics the money to fund the game so they could actually pay to make the game, because the game was going to be episodic. And because of Microsoft funding it and publishing it, the game actually turned out to be a whole full-fledged game instead of episodic online, where you bought it episode by episode. Because of Microsoft funding the developer and Square Enix, the publisher, they paid for the game being made. Okay? That's the difference. And all that is public record. You can look it up. It's all out there. Whoever wants to go see it. It's all out there. The proof is out there. It's not me, Ebot, making it up, right? So again, that was what I was trying to say, brother. That's the example, a perfect example of why the gaming industry is where it is. Because of too much false information, lack of information from the bigger outlets, the media, like the IGNs and the bigger influencers. And they don't follow people like us, follow stupid people like them, because they think because they have a bigger platform that they're legitimate, that they're 100% reliable, and yet this is how people think.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man belongs to Sony. No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
Andy is saying, I said that they fund their exclusive deals, but okay. It's just like what you said. They don't fund their exclusive deals. They
don't fund the game, right? In other words, they don't fund the money to create the game. They don't pay for the game to be created. What they do is they pay to have it exclusive to their console.
Right.
That's what they pay for. They pay the company, let's say $10 million, keep it exclusive for a year or lifetime. That's what they do. It's kind of like what Microsoft does when they pay developers to put the game on Game Pass. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
But in this case, they're paying to have it exclusive. It's the same idea. The only things for two different things. Microsoft pays developers to put games on Game Pass so they can make money up front with no risk, while Sony pays to just have it on their platform so that their platform can look good and people can go buy a PlayStation just because they have that game exclusive. but not because they actually own the IP, paid for the creation of the IP, or paid for anything, or pay any of the developers and publishers money to make the game. You see?
Yeah.
Two very different things. Two very big different things. And this is what people don't understand. The casuals don't understand that. The people that rely on the Dustin Legarys, on the IGNs, on the Maddie fucking Plays, on the Rich Review Techs, on the Angry Joes, the people that rely on those dudes, they don't know no better because these guys don't give them all the information. Because half the time they don't know it themselves. Believe it or not. Half the time, those same guys don't know shit. They know only a partial of the situation. And that is why they spread false information or lack of information. Not false, but lack of. That's it. I know I've been long-winded. Sorry.
No, Hebot, I really appreciate that. I appreciate it, Hebot. I appreciate that, man. 100%, man. I really appreciate that, man. Our brother Hebot, man, is always going in detail and always spitting those facts, bro. You know what I mean? That's why I rock out with my brother Hebot for a long time, man. I really appreciate you coming through, brother Hebot. And hey, Zink, I'm sorry you had to come here, man. At the he said, the other Zink said, right, Hebot. So yeah, man. But we're gonna get out of here, brother. We're gonna do our outro. So give a shout out to 100. He was in here. Rain G4. Brother Sega Forever. Hope to do another podcast with you, man. Hope you're doing well. Me, you, Hebot, and the whole crew. Hope we can chop up some.
I spoke to him yesterday.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, he's okay. He's just been busy working. Okay. You know, and his kids are. Remember, I call them my nephews. His kids are. They're in that stage where they're going from high school to college. They're starting to do big things. So Papa's helping them. He's doing what he's got to do.
Yeah, that's good.
We always say family comes first, brother. You know how it is.
Of course, they know that. I think our chat is respectable, and they know that. When Hebot can do his podcast, he does what we got next, and we'll be there. And when I could do it, I get busy, guys. I'm real busy with family, but I'm never going to abandon my brothers and my podcast. And
we enjoy doing this stuff. We enjoy doing it, but it's hard.
Oh yeah, it is hard. It is hard, Hebot. But I got downtime coming soon. With when the holidays come around, so I'll be doing a lot more with my brother Hebot and E-Rock and all them. Our brother Tuck and Unlimited Dea and all those. Our brother Other Zinc. And man, and big shouts out to Flip Money. Flip Money was in the house.
Flip funny.
Big Flip Deploy 619 was in the house. Real good brother right there. Fire Boss.
Oh yeah.
Fire Boss was here. Andy, Andy was up. Man, Andy, you were on fire, man. You were on fire in the chat, Andy. Thank you for always coming and spitting game with us, man. Your opinions are very respected and very appreciative, man. We really appreciate you, man. 100%. So big shouts out to all you guys, but I got to go, man. I got to put in my grind. I got to go to work. So on that note, Tuck, man, hey, man, thanks for coming, brother. Really appreciate you, man. Tuck Master, tell everybody where they can find you, man.
All I got to say, everybody know where they can find me. All I got to say is this.
Go ahead.
Sony die. Sony's dying. And Sony's going to die. And these PlayStation Sony ponies is not gonna have anything else to say about it, period. And everybody can find me, everybody can find me at with the best group of people, and that's it. So, but Sony, all I gotta say is die, Sony.
Oh, okay. No, okay, Andy, I got you, brother. I see what you're saying. Andy, I think was the guy who was trying to say that, put up that question or whatever.
Yeah,
but he was trying to say what I was explaining, but I guess I guess it was because of the way it is in text. How text you can't convey the actual messaging the right way. Like you can't convey emotions with text.
Yeah,
and explain it how you're trying to say
Andy
it.
Knows.
So he said, "No, I get it, Andy. Look, my apologies. I wasn't trying to do a personal attack. I was just trying to use what you said as an example, because I've seen a lot of people
I think he knows that.
saying the wrong information, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what my point of what I was trying to say. So I apologize for that, Andy. It wasn't me trying to attack you. If it came off that way, that's not what I was doing. I apologize, brother.
All right, brother Hebot, man. It's always a pleasure to have our brother Hebot. You know, he's part of the Outlaws of Xbox podcast. And the podcasts that we do, you know, with the Unlimited Truth, We Got Next. Our brother Sega Forever with the Wrecking Crew. He's a big, he's a big part of us, man. We've all been together for years, you know, just years doing different types of podcasts and videos and things like that with 100 Intramedia Gaming and the crew over there with the Day One podcast.
Well, he's one of the originals. He was here before us, like before me at least. I know
Oh yeah. You know, our brother was a new legal and Techno Blast and all those good guys out there. We really appreciate you guys coming and rocking out with us, man. So on that note, brother Hebot, the most powerful gamer historian, man. Give your shots out, man, and tell where they can find you, man.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure to be able to sneak in here for a little bit. First and foremost, thank you for inviting me. This is always like a second home to me. I've always told you that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love helping you out when you do your shows. Since the very beginning, I always like to think that the reason why you're out here was because I motivated you enough.
Oh, of course.
To want to do
the reason.
I tell you all the time. I told you all the time, Sega man, you are a true historian and a real gamer, and people need to hear your voice. And it doesn't matter if you get a smaller amount of people coming to see you, but just know the people that do see you appreciate you because they know that you have a lot to offer, right?
Yeah.
And so I've always been proud of you and what you do, and I'm very proud to know that somehow I helped you get out of your shell and expand your brand, expand yourself, so that people would actually be able to hear you. Same thing like Tuck. I love that Tuck does the Lions Den.
Oh yeah.
He talks freely.
Yeah.
But Tuck has been doing that since the Skype days. He used to do it on Skype.
I remember.
On Xbox.
Yeah.
I remember one time our brother Tuck was so OG, he didn't give a fuck with no shits. And he did it. He did a Skype video in his whitey tighties, if I remember.
Yeah, man. In his bra, bro. Yeah.
He didn't give two fucks.
Yeah.
I was like, Tuck Master's nothing to fuck with. And I thought it was so hilarious. So since then, I really enjoyed watching him, even though a lot of people kind of don't give him enough of love and support because they think that because he doesn't know maybe all the details or the ins and outs the way that I do, maybe but they don't really give him the time of day, but they should, because the passion and the love that he has shows.
100%.
It shows when he talks and what he tries to say things. And that alone makes me admire him very much, because of that. So, again, thank you for having me on. Sorry for being long-winded. I hope I was able to bring some information that you guys enjoyed. Big shout out to the chat. And like always, I hope we could do another show soon where we could take more time and not feel kind of rushed, because I know you got to go to work. I got to leave soon. So, yeah, man, I love you very much. Thank you for your time, like I said.
Thank you, brother.
And hopefully, I think we're going to have a lot to talk about going forward. There's going to be a lot of changes and things that's going to be popping up that we're going to be able to have to talk, that we're going to be able to talk about, good and bad, Good because Microsoft is starting to catch their stride and things are starting to pan out, and bad because other companies are still not understanding the movement and doing bad decisions, and just looks like it's going downhill for them. So, like I said, good and bad. Gaming is always good to talk about, and I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, but Sony kind of put themselves in that position for a long time because of their arrogance. So they have nobody to blame but themselves, to be quite honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I'm not really hoping for them to go, but if they go, I'll be happy, because I think they don't really bring much to the table. But that's just me personally, right?
I think a lot of people feel that way, Hebot, including myself. You know what I mean? It's just the truth, man. It's the truth, man. They really don't, man.
To be honest, I'd rather have Sega back in the hardware business than have Sony.
Yeah.
You know?
I can agree to that one too, man. I can definitely agree to that one, man. All right. Shouts out to the realist. Thank you for coming, man.
Real quick, because I never even said it. You guys can find me on my channel on YouTube. It's Hebot on YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram, on any of the social media outlets. Just go to my channel and look up the description.
You here, brother? Hebot? Well, hey, guys. Thanks for coming. The realist, thank you for coming, brother. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate everybody that rocks out with us in the chat. All the brothers and gaming ladies that rock out with us. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for all the support for the Outlaws of Xbox podcast. I appreciate it. But we're gonna get on out of here. All right. So peace and love, guys. Xbox for life. We don't die. We multiply. And remember, we're always eating good over here. And right now,
we multiply.
Power greater than X. Peace, guys.
Later, guys.
Peace.